it. I don't know if there's a time period in which it must be utilized before it, begins to lose its potency. But that was not part of my contract. And if they were to come back on that, I was at that point already being dragged over into Jorha. So
we were in possession of it for a time.
Oh! So you're aware of this then?
Yeah, but we entrusted it to a friend.
Understood. If you do encounter any of these individuals, just be careful and don't mention.
Don't mention you.
There is one more call we could make. Essek could let him know everything. Everything.
That trouble's coming.
Okay.
What kind of trouble, what words to look up, what to research. There's no sense playing ridiculous political games right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to tell Essek that there is a potential way to plug into the greatest minds of the arcane in all history.
I think we're a little more honest with him and tell him that that's absolutely not what this is. That's a lie. This is destruction. There's no knowledge in that thing. There's nothing to be learned from that kind of chaos. That's
what is
just
stopping it? What makes you think he doesn't already know all of this and isn't in pursuit of it himself? He's a dope-ass mage, just like she was.
Sneaky. I feel like he'd be out here already, but
maybe he just has a few different pieces of the puzzle, and we've got the others.
We've convinced him to listen to reason once. That's all I have.
I honestly don't trust him enough.
Yeah, why is
Maybe we can tell him just enough.
We already know.
We need his help to stop the Tomb Takers, that the Tomb Takers are trying to bring back an entity that is...
A city-sized entity that will
destroy
bring
everything.
Chaos.
I mean, we already know that the Dynasty and the Empire are fighting for relics and knowledge from this place. We know that's why he's here, we just don't know the specifics.
I mean, what advantage would we give, though? Even if we say there's an enemy coming, that doesn't change anything. We need to take away, like, a key component of what they're looking for. Maybe there's a lodestone at Aeor. Maybe they need to remove it themselves.
Maybe he can find the site. Maybe he can find another component before they do.
Yeah.
Lock it down.
Right. It's not so much defending the city or stopping them. Maybe they need to take the last piece and move.
I think it's foolish to ignore allies right now, even if they are shifty. This is all hands.
I'm not suggesting we ignore allies. I am just laying out the fact that we are in a rat race that we only know a part of the rules of.
Yes, if we pull him in, I don't want to whet his appetite for the same thing that Vess hungered for.
Agreed. Okay.
I don't have enough words to really whet his appetite in that way anyway.
Wait.
Wait.
Recall back to Jester's house one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
Super.
Bail.
At any time.
Have fun with that.
That's always an option.
Should we check in with Essek?
Yeah, I was just...
Sure, I can send a message.
Are we being watched?
Nope.
Well, he's still got it up for another hour. And
at this point, it'd be about, I'd say, 30 minutes or so left to the spell.
All right, yeah, then I'll send a message to Essek. What should I say? What should I say? What should I say? This is
where
important.
he is.
We're gonna be at Aeor in a day and a half.
Yeah.
Meet us there.
Well, he was already there. He was on the east side.
Like, meet us at the entrance.
There's so many entrances. It's not like it's a city. It's not like there's one place to go into it.
I mean,
do we... side of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Do we want to complicate our arrival and lay a trap, or just make sure he stays clear?
I think maybe clear and follow us in.
He has so much other shit going on. How are we going to convince him to do that?
He loves us. He's one of the Mighty Nine.
You told us the last time we talked. He was like, "I'm running an operation for the Dynasty. I cannot abandon my post. I am in charge here." That is what he said.
I think he'll understand that this is bigger than that.
They've collected lodestones. They have prior knowledge. They're coming to awaken the city.
I need a third question.
Wait
I mean,
for us.
that's That's a big question mark with him because
It's a
he
huge question mark.
has told us to our faces that he bears more allegiance to us than any nation. Whether that's true or not, who knows? Who knows what his allegiances are?
If
Or if he would
anything,
care or not.
I think if we utilize Essek in any way, he will be a tool, because there's no doubt that he's not going to have some sort of common interest in whatever they want.
Right. So are you proposing that he help us keep them from going in, or to follow us in? On the sleeky.
You are right there. I mean, think of what he did for knowledge already,
Yeah,
just for research.
I think it's kind of...
We kiss him into this.
He could work, like, throwing two kaiju at each other and seeing how they battle, and, you know, I don't know.
We could also tell him all this, and he may just totally disregard
We
it.
could also
Yeah, that too.
polymorph really fast and fly away.
See if it works. I'm going for it.
Okay. Casting commune.
Does Essek plan on helping us at the moment?
As you return to the gentle mind palace of the the Wild Mother, if you will.
Mind Forest.
Mind Forest in this one. So was the question one more time to clarify? What was the question one more time to clarify?
At the moment, does Essek plan on helping us?
You see this distant star that twinkles, and when it does, you feel a sense of safety and familiarity that would confirm a yes. A small outpost here that is completely masqueraded with magic.
Cool. That is so awesome.
But as the door opens, you see a figure kind of drift out. You see the familiar white, short hair, odd grin, and now a heavy white fur collared, kind of long purple black cloak as the shadow hand Essek Thalis drifts towards you.
I run over and hug him. It's so good to see you.
And everyone kind of stops and kind of gives a curious head turn.
Oh, sorry.
It is good to see you as well, Jester. Mighty Nine, I'm happy to see that you traveled safely across these lands. Well, do come in. We have much to discuss, I imagine.
Yeah. In private, hopefully.
And kind of glances about and puts a hand up to the rest of everybody, and they begin to scatter and go about their business. You hear a couple of whistles.
I feel like we need to impress the gravity of the situation.
What if he already knows?
That's what I was to say. Yeah.
First, our story is very complicated. Why don't you catch us up on what you're doing here, how you're doing?
Very well, actually. Walk with me, if you would, then. If you don't.
Walk and talk.
And he gives a nod.
Isn't there one piece
My apologies for that. Not deception, but you see he's looking a bit nervous. He goes, "You asked me what I'm doing here. I requested this outpost. I needed to be as far away from any sort of central politics after the negotiation.
Why?
The guilt?
Well, partially, but more so the fact that if I am a dangling thread of communication to the Empire that triggered all of this, what purpose do I serve to be kept alive by the Assembly?
That makes sense.
I can guarantee you there are at least a dozen assassins out looking for me on their
From both
regard.
sides, probably.
From our side,
I can only assume so.
does anyone from yours suspect?
Not yet. But who knows? It's possible. Regardless, I was granted this post, and for the time being, I am enjoying the change of pace, strangely.
So you really don't know very much about Aeor, then?
I'm learning as we go, but I just asked to be sent far away, and from what I'd heard, there was quite a bit of competitive acquisition of relics, and if I'm to be honest, that is an intriguing thing. I mean, I'm a man of arcane study, and if there are things here that can continue to progress my personal studies, then that would be perfect. But it also has the benefit of preventing the assembly in some subtle ways of getting these secrets before we did, and keeping me far away from where perhaps I'm being sought after for the time being.
So you don't have a specific mission or timetable here? It's just to guard, protect, and acquire arcane materials?
For the time being.
We have a mission for you. Save the world.
I fear your day-to-day might be a little more interesting than you had bargained for soon. One question before we dive into... There is so much. We, in recent past, have tried to send something away from this region. I tried to send something out of the frozen north. We don't know if it reached its destination.
Via translocation.
Is correct. Do you have any experience doing such here?
I have. I've been to and from elements of the dynasty a couple of times since I've been here. It's challenging. What were your means of sending this object?
Well, I had a physical article from the location I was trying to send our
But it was not via circle.
No.
That'd be what?
More powerful.
Not via circle.
Not via circle.
Circles are the best?
The magics around here are very strange. Especially at the proximity to these ruins. Any sort of magical incantation has an opportunity to create unexpected consequences. But one of the elements that is most affected, especially in Isocross, is translocation, teleportation. What I've learned is the use of a circle, having a specific anchor rune, and the personal transition too. So the moving away from Aeor seems to be largely unaffected, or at least the safest route. Anything beyond that has an increased chance of going awry.
So if we were to step away via circle, everything is fine, but trying to step back...
As far as I know, yes. I make no extreme guarantees, but I have not seen a problem, and for those I know who have come before me, that seems to be the universal knowledge.
How did you get back? You said you went home a few times?
Mm-hmm.
How did you return?
The same way I've brought you around Exandria. It doesn't always work out the best. To put it bluntly, it either sent me a little ways off of my intended destination, and I had to keep safe and find another way back, or try again the next day. Or it did eventually get me there, but in the process, I underwent some physical stress.
Did it like rearrange your body parts and put your butt on your front or something?
It might have had it completed its attempts, maybe.
Oh, shit.
But let's just say it can be quite painful if it goes very wrong. But it is possible. And if it be an emergency and a timetable of challenge, it could outweigh the dangerous journey here.
Good to know, though, if we need to beat a hasty retreat, we can do so.
Potential.
Coming back is
Worse.
more difficult.
But it is a dangerous place for anyone of intense magical practicing. The proximity of these ruins just makes things difficult to prepare for.
Is that true of even the most basic magics, or is it...
Basic magics can seem to get past whatever strange field or weave is here, but anything beyond even the most rudimentary spells
tends to shift like through a prism.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Okay, understood.
He seems definitely nervous. His nerves, both, you can see him, he's instinctually kind of just looking over his shoulder around him, in a way a person who is constantly expecting anything to jump out of them is. But on top of that, there's also an additional layer. With that roll, I have no other better way to say it. There is shame. He's having a hard time making direct eye contact with any of you for too long.
Wow.
He kept us in the dark a lot. We have so much to catch you up on.
Where to even begin? Does it start with we were fucking about on a volcano, or
It's also like, where does it potentially connect and where does it not?
Well,
Yeah.
I guess we as a group have to decide, are we just going to spill
Give it
all the beans?
well, something?
We love this guy, right? He's great. Even though he's done shitty things, just like
pretend
us.
like
He's done
you're
some
not-
real shitty things.
Pretend you're
we
like
have
you're not
to.
listening.
It's okay.
There's no one here who hasn't. There's no one here who isn't a little embarrassed by something.
Regardless,
War crimes,
regardless, something is going to happen here, potentially soon. Something large.
Your sabbatical is over.
So, long time ago, before the city crashed, there was this group called the Somnova. And they were, like... They thought they were smarter than everyone else, right?
Yeah.
And they figured out what was happening, and they decided to save their section of the city. They said they were going to send... who desired to bring this portion of the city back to Exandria.
For what purpose?
They've been driven mad,
They want to join.
and they want to bring the madness. It's just madness.
Power?
It's got a
The
hold of.
voices can reach you. I don't know as well as Bo and Caleb what that is like, but
Are we going to put everything on the table?
Not that part.
Our understanding of this is rudimentary at best. But these tomb takers, this purple one we have mentioned, believes that he can achieve all his dreams if he brings this city of dreamers back into the world, we think. Anyway, we have been at odds with them for the past few weeks here in Isocross, running around.
they're seeking large crests. That's one of the things we sent away.
These large gems that we believe were part of the construction of the city of Aeor.
Threshold crests, you mean?
Yes.
Our best guess is that they will be used to somehow
Bring the city
open
back.
a door. Yeah.
Have you heard anything about the 9 eyes?
Do not, but from what you say, this city of dreams is a malevolent force, and they seek to bring it back. That is a dire warning. So you're reading him on this. He's intently listening, and seems to be genuinely disturbed by the information that he's received.
Okay.
He's taking it in. He's very controlled, like he's used to listening and kind of, his demeanor since you met him has been very constructed. It is very much an element that he instinctually puts forward, but even in that space you could see him being very contemplative and trying to just take it all in and nod.
We wouldn't have brought this to you if we didn't have to, and not for a lack of trust. You are a friend, but we understand how these sorts of problems weigh on you particularly, and
He puts his hand up. I've spent so much of my life focused on myself. My climb, all of my selfish needs. I've never really been trusted, and so I did not trust, and I never let anyone close.
been clouded in my judgment many times through a lot of my life. When you gave me trust, it gave me a perspective that was so agonizingly striking. So easy to see that I refused to acknowledge it at first, even. I would be lying if I said that our paths crossing hasn't shaken me to the core. And I am appreciative.
I'll inside check that.
Go for it. Hard to read. And I'm thankful for this perspective. But you do not owe me trust for what I have done.
No, we definitely don't. And we still don't really
Good.
trust you.
Good. But maybe
Jester does.
we have a chance for you to do something good for your home instead of hurt it. Something is going to happen here. We don't know what. Something almost definitely bad. Do you want to aid us here with these people coming to do what they're going to do?
Whether or not I help you, there is a reckoning that will find me soon enough. I know that I exist on borrowed time. My short-sightedness has had far-reaching impacts that my selfishness prevented me from seeing. So whatever I can do with the time that I do have, I will try. I am responsible for the people of this outpost, but I also wish to help. In whatever way I can.
If we succeed, and we all, destroy the Tomb Takers, and Essek helps us, and the world is saved, maybe we can take Essek with us and use that spell that you used on Veth, and then we can change Essek into something else so that the assassins can't find him and he'll live safely wherever he goes.
That won't really help with the inside.
You see him kind of smile, and since you've been here, Essek still, while challenged to hold eye contact with most of you, cannot make eye contact with Caleb. But as Caleb says that, the head sinks a bit, with a nod. I appreciate the insinuation. Anyway. What can I do to help? We'll head back into his chambers. The door closes.
Caleb,
Yes?
I'll also say there's... Oh.
Caleb, you should get naked.
What?
To do what?
You should show him.
Oh.
You're talking about
Do we know about your diary, by the way?
His dick.
Do we know that you...
You won't?
This is a very small room.
We've all seen it.
It's above average.
What are we talking about?
I'm losing track.
What are we talking about?
It's entirely... Well...
Let's reset.
This is important.
Let's reset.
Bo can show us too.
Let's return
Bo-
to let's return to
Some notes.
the purple one.
Reset.
Okay.
So this individual goes by the name of Lucian. We traveled with him in the past.
We need more help. More knowledgeable individuals.
Who
Any
would know
word from the-
something about it?
You know who would know something about
I cannot go back to the
What? Who?
dynasty,
What
and
were you gonna
I respectfully, for the time being, can say that there are I am worried that my influence is limited.
Sure.
You're getting boxed out by the Bright Queen?
Well, there are rumors within the dynasty that someone has been working with the Empire from within, and tensions are high between the houses. And to be honest, my involvement with all of you and some previous studies and connections has me on the list of possible inquiries. And of all those on that list, the only one I know to truly be the one they're seeking for is myself, so...
Well, if we do this right, you might get in better standing.
Could be a hero.
That's a little consolation, I'm sorry. You
No.
have a shit situation.
I put myself here. There is no one to blame but myself. But I appreciate that.
What were you going to say?
Good
Oh,
night.
I was going to say we could ask Vess, but she's got taken.
Yes, but there might be someone else on the
Taldori Council.
on the Empire side that we're not thinking of, or I don't think Vess confided in anyone, but
Where did we put Halas's body? Is he also in the bag of holding?
No.
Halas is in the folding halls.
Yeah.
In
Correct.
the
Correct.
Yeah,
prison.
I accidentally forgot that part, and we briefly roleplayed incinerating the body, but going back into actual lore elements, the body was left in the halls.
We dumped him in
We
the
dumped
prison there,
Yeah.
Yes.
And we left him there, right?
but like
where Not died
We have the
briefly.
Cobalt
That's where it
Soul. We have Allura.
if these Luxon beacons are somehow related to the city, to the Somnovum, then it stands to reason that the folks in the Empire who have done the most study of the Luxon beacons
Oh, no.
might know something about this place and where to find them here. I'm talking about like
Trent?
Trent.
Yeah.
You want us to go to the worst people?
No, I want us to go to the people who know him closest.
Yep.
Eudwulf and Astrid.
There is a very visceral reaction when you mention Trent in Essek's face. Kind of a...
We know.
Yeah, he's the worst,
He's-
isn't he?
I mean, unless you are you friends with him or
What are
something?
your dealings with him?
We have had dealings, yes.
Like
It
back
was
channels?
Trent.
Back channels?
It was Trent.
I mean, I figured it out, but for Ford's benefit, can you just explain your relationship to Trent?
Briefly, Ludinus was my main contact in the delivery of the beacon and the sharing of information. But at times in which Ludinus was not available, Trent was sent as his envoy. And if you think I'm not worth trusting, do not trust
Yeah, we know.
any one of the assembly, but definitely not Igathon.
Oh yeah, we're with you on that one.
Ludinus is still alive, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trent is still alive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Isn't anyone not alive?
I mean,
Oh, should I have not told him?
No, we need to. That's
I
important.
think it's
information.
okay because Ludinus and Vess hated each
What's
other.
happened to Vesterogna?
Westerogna was killed by Lucian by himself, with
Sort of on
barely
our
lifting a
watch.
finger.
While we slept.
Yeah.
It happened
he
real
snuck
fast.
into her room while we were...
Happened bacon.
See him getting real nervous now. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, shit's bad.
so
We had her body until
So,
we stole it.
We're here now, so you can't get out of this. They're coming for you.
I apologize
We're
for
we're like six
my
shots of
nerves.
tequila in.
So,
said one.
is that cocoa done?
Feels like a long time for the
Could I
cocoa.
please? Do you have any cocoa?
Do I? God, it's been a
Do you
while.
want some whiskey in that cocoa?
Certainly.
Okay.
Actually,
I
has the
take
cocoa
out.
been delivered yet?
You can go and check outside.
I'll go find. Oh, yeah.
Somebody's knocking on the silent
Right,
door.
and we'll say for the sake of that point, someone's like, cocoa? Thanks.
Put up here for 20 minutes.
Jessica goes, so,
Oh,
so you were traveling with a member of the assembly who was then killed in your presence, whose body you lost, who was last known to be in your proximity,
For a while.
and you've then come to me.
We're aware.
But we left a real good note that said she was,
He starts looking around the room real nervously, like glancing out. You see him like put his hand across the way, his eyes flash for a second, he's just glancing around the
Do
chamber.
you see any little orbs? Because Lucien spies on us a lot.
I've done that already. We're okay. We've been doing it since
She was part of the
He
cult.
just chugs the whiskey chocolate.
She was also part of the Nonagon cult.
and she
She
is
was-
with
she was super
Lucian
bad.
now.
I mean, Essek, you
Covered in
already
that mark.
said that you are nervous that threads are going to lead back to you. In for a penny, in for a pound.
Oh,
Essek.
So you're asking if it's possible to pull the soul out of Lucien?
Yes.
Not in the way that I know, beyond the old-fashioned way.
Or
the new family.
pulling the soul out of just the form if it's still somewhere dormant inside of Lucian. Not him, but someone else.
It's possible.
What if when we kill Lucien, we have to have a beacon right by it so the soul gets sucked into the beacon and then he'll be trapped in there?
Well, the beacon only pulls souls that have been consecrated.
Oh.
We don't know.
Could have been.
He could have been. We don't know.
I wonder. We've
It's
been
been around a long time.
we've been talking a long time about these all of these people in the city, these voices, millions of voices, and
Yeah.
and as we traversed these ruins, we've also seen many people frozen in some sort of stasis, almost like Vess in my little ball of ember. And there are many similarities between the architecture and structures that we have seen and the geometric, the mathematical qualities of your artifacts. I wonder if these beacons are some sort of device that either saved the people of Aeor in that terrible moment, and they are now living in consecuted people today? Or these millions of voices crying out in the astral sea?
Have homes that they're coming to. They're going to bring the city back alive and mad.
If these beacons are of an earlier time, and they are very advanced, obviously far more advanced than we are from all that time ago, maybe there was some sort of fail-safe for their people. And then they were dug up, and the dynasty rose.
It is an interesting idea, though I would caution to keep it close to the chest. Such conversations might be considered sacrilege in some circles of the dynasty. So just...
What do you think?
I think there are a great many mysteries still with these beacons in their beginning. There is too much showing the Luxon's presence for me to deny any sort of connotation or connection, though I do not necessarily buy into the ideas of its divinity, or at least the religious constructs around it. I would... What I do know is that there are many powerful sites within these ruins. And I'd be curious to see what a beacon could accomplish in these spaces. And he, for the first time, really was making eye contact with you and says, if such an object were to be found and channeled and unlocked in ways that we have not even possibly considered, think of the possibilities of how we could manipulate the fabric of time. Not just forwards.
What was that last bit?
not just forwards. The ability to perhaps undo mistakes. But regardless, you likely have the eyes of the Assembly upon you, and whether or not you meant to have brought them uncomfortably close to myself. Is it possible to put some distance between us for just a time?
How much time?
As much time as you need to prepare for whatever it is you're doing, and for myself to prepare for what I could possibly help with.
You want us to go somewhere, or?
Or I could leave.
Are you talking about this outpost or just a different section of it?
I don't know.
You can have your space if that's what you need.
I understand.
We're
going to have to make some very uncomfortable.
Leave.
If we are going to go into these ruins, I feel like we should not be close together until we're ready to delve. Because any time we spend between, in proximity, means that either one of us is drawing danger to the other.
How dangerous would it be to make our home out here?
Well, I can't make that home
Okay.
today. But maybe we
Sleep rough for a while.
access some provisions, restock our supplies, and
Can we at least sleep
depart
for
our
the night?
ways. Is that what you would prefer?
I should not leave this outpost. I have responsibilities here and people that rely on me.
Can we stay for the night?
Yes, of course you can stay for the night. I apologize. I'm just... And he looks genuinely mournful. He's like, I apologize. I am genuinely happy to see you.
I wouldn't be. Woof.
I worry we bring a lot of danger upon each other. So, I have no reservations with helping you. And I'm happy to go into these ruins at your side. But until we cross that threshold, we are both targets.
Well, that's fine. We've been living in a constant state of fear and death for, I don't know, as long as I can remember. Before you leave, though, on your side in the dynasty, if it's not the Bright Queen, I would ask one or two contacts that perhaps you do trust or do have some credit with. It would be nice to be able to answer some of these questions. I think we'll be making a list of people that we'll be checking in with before we delve, as you say.
I fear my brother is stationed in Bazuzan. It's too far from Rosona.
Brother? Did we know you had a brother?
Yes.
We did?
So?
We do know.
But I don't know if much help he would be in. He's too far from such places.
And if they're not immediately available, at least as someone that we can use as a resource for.
Star Guide Uriah Hythinos, perhaps. A goblin friend of mine, I believe they spoke to you when I was unable to reach out that day.
Oh, yes.
They have returned to Rosona to deliver reports. Asking around, they would be somebody I trust, one of the few.
Okay.
This is good, Coco, thank you.
It's poisoned.
I sprinkled the dust of deliciousness into
And I put sovereign glue in it.
And absinthe. And yogurt.
It's a lot, I know, especially all in one sitting. But look at it this way. It'll take your mind off things for a bit. One terrible danger totally replaced by another eminent one.
You're You certainly carve a unique destiny, don't you? I apologize. My mind is a complicated swim these days. I'm sorry for a lot. A lot. And do as you will. I cannot tell you what to do. But
We'll give some distance.
But when you're ready, come find me. I'll be here. Maybe gather what resources you can. Other friends, perhaps. If we're going to trek into the heart of these ruins, in hopes of waylaying or stopping this Nonagon from bringing this nightmare over, we're gonna need all the help we can get.
Thank you, Essek.
Thank you.
Shall we?
Let's head out and figure our next move.
Okay.
Well, that has been a pleasurable experience. Thank you so much for coming by. The door opens up and the guard on the other side kind of turns. But yes, please, take of our provisions, rest for the night, and continue your journey as necessary.
Oh,
Should you need anything else, you know where to find me.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
The door closes behind you.
No, I catch him by the forearm, last one out, and say, just breathe. Just breathe that fresh air, mindful of the people about. Time. Time. Not weeks, not years. It takes time.
Indeed.
I pull out a black marble and bring it into a circle, and I cast Gravity Sinkhole, a Dunamantic spell, above him at the ceiling to pull him up to the roof.
Okay.
And he's pulled towards
As
the
he's
center.
standing up getting his spear, you see him go, and he like inhales, about to yell, and then suddenly, silently, without a word, gets pulled up into the ceiling. Now there is sound as his metal hits the stone above and cranks up. The actual metal is crushed inward. You watch as blood begins to just kind of flop out of the armor.
Goodness.
And then it hits the ground.
All right. Everybody made it out?
We made it. Everything's okay. We're gonna get Trent. We'll go back. We'll get him. Just not now.
About this time, a familiar voice creeps back into your mind.
Guy.
Traces of dunamancy left in this wake. I have my theories on where you might have learned this.
Well, now we're both double dealing.
What did he say?
Kale's not having a good time, guys.
What did he say?
I think he has implied. I'm a little worried for Essek.
For Essek?
Yes.
How? I mean, Essek's half a world away,
Do we need to go somewhere?
surrounded by troops.
I have, Essek, I have learned some of their magic in Kryn, and I have since reverse engineered a little more of it. And I may have used some. in Vergessen. And now I think he has connected the dots.
He can tell what kind of magic you used.
He's the most dangerous man that I think exists in the Empire, Jester.
Why does the most powerful guy have to be such a shithead? Why can't he be a nice, powerful guy?
Right now.
Which part are you not okay with? The Trent talking to you part, or the killing people part, or the endangering Essek part, or
That's a fair question.
the endangering my family part, or listen, Bubby, come here, bring it in. This was a win. We got the things that we need to save the fucking world. This is good.
Yeah. Essek is already on board, you know? And he knew what he signed up for when he got involved in all of this. Send him a message and tell him to be aware. But you're not responsible for that. We did what we went in there to do.
Well,
So how many of these medallions we have?
12.
8 for us. One for your
Essek.
mom.
One for Essek.
Sorry, 7 for us.
Oh, there's 9 of us.
1 for...
Forgive me, but I don't want to do that.
Oh, we are not wandering around. We are
We're going there
Not
to
all the
fight.
plan.
hopefully bringing our complicated ally on board, and we are going to lie in wait for our enemy / friend and deal with him.
We know that their plan.
There is possibly another problem to worry about as well. I think that Ikathon is aware that we have had contact with Essek.
What do you mean?
When we saw him, he intimated when he spoke to me. When he spoke to me,
He
right?
spoke to you, yeah.
He intimated he was aware of our connection. And unless Essek is taking some sort of precautions, he is not hidden the way we are, and we might still not be finished with my old family.
What does that mean? Like he's going to Eiselcross?
Do we need to send a message to Essek and let
Yes,
him know?
we do need to send a message to Essek, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Essek has done a lot to try and seclude himself from all of this based on what he's done. He has taken some measures of defense by hiding in Eiselcross.
Correct, and if he is still with his people, then he is not alone.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know where he is.
Yeah, most definitely not done with your family.
And they were able to walk into your mother's house looking like somebody else. They could be there now, waiting for us to walk in the door. So when we approach him, it needs to be carefully, and yes, we should talk to him before we...
Friends, please, enter. I've got it from here. Thank you. As you all enter, the door closes behind as he kind of curls his hand towards him. And with his other hand, he drifts out a chair, scooches forward, and he drifts down into the chair, kind of one leg crossed of the other. I'm glad you have traveled here safely. It is good to see your faces. So, what is the word?
Are we in the chamber that had the invisible guards, or are we in his private chambers?
No, you were in the chamber that has the invisible guards.
I'm going to walk up and just place a hand on his shoulder. It's good to see you as well. Is his shoulder his?
It is.
May we speak freely here?
Is there something that should not be shared? Any of you speak Undercommon?
Yep.
You hear Essek say, "Give me 10 minutes, please."
Yep. Oh, right, not to us.
And you watch as 2 perched guards step out of the shadows nearby, descend and exit the chamber.
It closes. He kind of waits a moment.
Now we can speak freely.
Well, things are considerably more complicated than when we left you, I'm afraid.
This is my look of surprise. Oh, please explain these complications to me.
So,
Oh,
yes,
oh,
go.
we have an extra. Oh, I'm gonna pull out the extra necklace. Put it on. This'll keep you from being scryed on.
His eyes kind of flash in a familiar way that you've seen whenever Caleb has looked over a sort of magical item and... Ah. Wonderful, thank you. And he goes and kind of places it over his neck and tucks it within his mantle. I'll get to that in a bit. What else?
Now, that may be useful in the days ahead of us. However, some damage may already have been done. In an effort to hide ourselves from the prying eyes of our adversary here in Islecross, we traveled back to some of our homeland and acquired quite a few of those for us. We wanted to take ourselves off the grid. However, we had run-ins with my folk, Ikathon and his proteges. So we risked much to get these, but in doing so there was a confrontation. And I am fairly certain, because of his past dealings with you, and my use of things I have learned with you and from my own noodling, that he has put two and two together and I'm sorry, Essek, I think that he may have got wise to you, so there is a very real chance that he has been
On that note, summon the sword, cast see invisibility.
watching you already.
Make a perception check for me.
19.
19. Looking throughout the chamber, you feel pretty safe at the moment.
Those prying eyes are at least not here at the moment.
Not at the moment. So what does that mean? That means we are still on a ticking clock. We still need to keep moving. We would still be very grateful for your aid if you wish to give it to us. But we have to assume that Trent and his closest, they could be showing up soon. And we had the pricklier idea, since we are facing something so large and potentially beyond all of us, even you, that in these circumstances, perhaps we should be negotiating an alliance.
A temporary one. You know,
It does solve a couple problems. If he's involved, then it's not just you working with him, it's him working with you. It muddies the water for any information he feels the need to spill. And do we have those crystals?
I do wish it was that simple. I mean, I've been expecting my choices to catch up to me. Maybe not as soon as I had hoped, but as this is. Regardless, it is not safe for me to remain in this outpost. My presence here puts everyone else in danger, let alone myself. As this is not an unknown location, at least its existence. It would be safe for me to travel with you into this ruin, which I was preparing for. I do not trust working with that man.
No.
I understand if you need to, but I do not think that I could be part of that.
Oh, wow.
I can find a place to go. I am capable of being separate when I need to be. And I understand if you find the capabilities of a member of the Assembly more useful given the dangers you face. And the choice is yours.
Essek. We don't trust him either. The question is, one, do you trust us? And two, what we are talking about could potentially leave your home and mine in ashes. You've committed sins in your home. So have I. You talked about wanting to make up for them. If the appropriate amount of ability and skill is not wrought against this enemy, it could spread across every inch of the world we know. I understand this is unpalatable. My question to you is, do you want to protect your home?
He leans back. I do, but I do not... I do not think you seek the right kind of aid. Not with this man. You mentioned that one of the Assembly already fell into the spell of whatever this thing is. Right? This Cognouza.
True.
Then why should someone as entrenched, as selfish, as dubious as Ikathon not wait to the right moment to take it for himself?
He may very well do so. And we are prepared to deal with that.
Are you?
Yeah. And your judgment of him... Yes, he's corrupt. You and I know. Temptation is very real. And your estimation of us is very good, but it is not as perfect as you think it is. And I pull off my coat and pull clothes down and show him the eye on my right shoulder.
His eyes narrow as he looks and peers towards it with a curiosity and a worry. His brow furrows immediately.
I want to check one thing. Is there even a hint of recognition?
Let me make a perception check. Or sorry, an insight check.
Good question.
Fucking insight. No, I'm good. 24.
24. Recognition, wouldn't be what I'd say. Just unexpected processing.
Okay.
Ford, we're still good in here?
Anything new? Good.
I propose a side venture. In the middle of all of this is to rid this world of that man, as circumstance provides.
So this alliance you promote is intended to be a trap for him.
It's a perk. If we fail in the coming days, none of this even matters, this conversation we're having. If we succeed, both our homes still have their struggles with each other, their faults, their flaws. And here's a flaw from our home.
Make a persuasion check.
That dice.
Meteorite.
It failed you. It betrayed you in
Necromancy
this
die?
vital moment.
It's super betrayed.
What?
Wow. Wow.
Shit.
It is real.
Essek thinks it over for a minute in quiet silence.
Good squeeze.
Burn it.
I understand what you are proposing, and I see the logic in it. I do. But if I am to be honest, I am jealous of the bravery and confidence you have in such things. I am still a coward.
Coward. You have dared much.
I have done everything for myself. And when any of it came to bear, I have done everything I can to hide and flee. I am more than happy to go and put my life on the line for this cause. But there is something about that man and what he could bring upon me and those he... He may very well be coming anyway. But if you want to work with him, I may have to work independently. Maybe follow. I fear I would make this messier than you need to make it work. Does that make sense? I'm not saying I leave you alone, but we would have to work separately.
Yes, of course. Of course it makes sense. There's no good answer to any of this.
Absolutely not.
We don't want you to be uneasy or unsettled. There'll be plenty of that to come. You must understand that we are trying to gather every able hand and...
Of course, I see the import of that. I just know that I've also survived this long, weaving the intricacies of deceit like I have by knowing how best to keep myself out of the complications as best as I can. If you wish to work with him directly, I will not stop you. And I will help where I can, but it may be at a distance.
Maybe he's got a point. Maybe Trent is more complicated than what it's worth across the board.
Choice to make.
Yes.
Because Trent brings power and probably numbers. But of course he is untrustworthy. We all know that.
Is there a way to find out if he actually is following us here? If he knows where we are? If we can find out if he's coming anyway, that certainly changes the territory.
I could send a message to Astrid. Tell her to cough if they're following us.
Oh, also I have a strange request. Would you mind terribly taking off your shirt?
Excuse me?
Well, what's the word? Gotten a bit paranoid, and I'd like to make sure that there's the correct number of eyeballs in this room, if you know what I mean.
Make a persuasion check.
That's your strong suit.
I'll give him
Persuasion?
advantage and say, Essek, if you take your shirt off, all of us will.
21.
So you feel safe and comfortable.
I'll help that by taking off my glove, showing the back of my hand.
I've already taken off my shirt.
No!
Essek is very like,
No!
if it puts you at ease, and you watch as he kind of unsnaps some of the fasteners for his mantle and
He's got just like a
Sets it
runaway
off.
stripper outfit that's just like.
Dunamancy!
Sparkling stars.
Janie's got a gun.
Giant chest tattoo.
Full on Kill kills it. I love it. No, he takes his mantle off and kind of pulls the sides of the robe away, and you can see he has like an undershirt. It's like a little sleeveless undershirt, or like a darker gray silk, and he begins to show like his arms and reveal. He's being modest with it, you know, kind of doing it in places, so he's not just like full on bearing it all here, but he's giving a fairly thorough kind of glance.
Back and head is a big one too.
He kind of drops it in the back a bit and shows his hair's pretty short in the back, so it's pretty easy to see.
I appreciate that.
Of course, I understand.
We all appreciate that, Essek.
This is a thing we're learning to do every day.
Fastens the mantle back on.
Well, we should prepare to at least explore the ruins shortly. We do have a decision to make on our end.
Of course. Do what you need to do to feel certain in your choices. Let me know one way or the other. I will aid you however I can regardless. It will just inform how close.
If we forego trying to negotiate with him, you come with us.
Of course, I was preparing to.
Okay.
And is Dagon still around?
I would, however, ask some semblance of haste, because the circumstances do put a time limit beyond just the individual you are racing, but the knowledge that Master Rigathon has. I'll be here if you need me. I'm going to begin to prepare for a journey either way.
Spend some time
Spend
with
a little
Dagon.
time, yeah, with
Yes, I will do that as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Can we stay here for a little bit? Just finish our conversation?
Certainly. Of course. And he drifts out of his chair and kind of glides around and through the door and leaves you to your devices in the room.
Man, Caleb, why didn't you do a better job convincing him?
Oh, that was a great job, Chester. You did it fantastic.
You did a good job.
It's a tough ultimatum.
Although it's pretty simple, though, right?
happens.
Simple. We're choosing between Essek and
Dice, man.
Iki.
Fucking dice.
Yeah, we get one dedicated ally that we know doesn't want the thing that we're trying to keep out of the hands of Lucian. And on the other side, we get more hands, perhaps more power, but a almost certainty that they will try and keep whatever they prevent Lucian from doing for themselves.
Yeah.
It's
Which
the
means
one
we'll have to
person that
fight
we
them
can-
at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last thing that we need is for some double crossing, other complication. when
I'm
we're dealing with
frustrated. I feel like we could have worked it, but one person that we can trust is better than three that we cannot.
I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah.
They could turn on us in the middle of the fight.
Should we at least reach out to Astrid?
Find out if they're following us.
Yeah.
Well, yes, and ask if maybe she could tear away. I don't know.
Yeah, the key to the Volstruckers would be that unless Trent is dead, they're still going to fight on his side.
Yeah.
If we could fell him, then perhaps they would turn, but that's a big if. And until then, the tide would not be in our favor. We should check in with Astrid.
We could. We need to be vague. If they know where we are, if they know where Essek is, they do. But just in case, keep it vague. Maybe ask her, are they following?
And where they think we are.
Well, if she's around him,
Got some thoughts.
get there before them.
Is there any reason for us to stay here, or should we go right now?
We should let
Go right now.
Essek know that.
Who is it?
Yeah, hello.
It's Essek.
Oh,
come
hey,
in.
come in.
Come on in.
Come into your
Wait,
room.
we're naked.
The door opens, stops, and slowly opens. The door opens the rest of its way on its own. You see he's wearing like his heavy cloak with like the kind of like heavy fur trim around the side for the cold weather. He has a pouch that's kind of over his shoulder tucked underneath. He has an orb that's kind of affixed to his side that he kind of just lifts up and it drifts above his hand. and you watch as it kind of warms up a bit and kind of creates this radius of warmth around.
Ooh.
Yes. I have what I need. Are you all ready to go?
I think so.
It's ready, so we're going to be.
All right. Have you decided?
Yes, Essek, we are going to stick with you. We feel we can trust you more than my old teacher.
Also, that guy, he can't float.
You're not wrong. You see, like, when you say the word trust, it's simultaneously like seeing a small hit to the heart, and whatever icy bit that cracked kind of melts away for a minute. Like there's a moment of him hearing the word and letting it wash over him almost. I'm thankful for the trust you put in me, and I hope to make this up to you. Anyway, I'm glad it's such discussions, shall we?
Yeah. Essek, do you still have...
Don't you know, like, if we're not on the wall anymore?
This is really steep, you
I
guys.
start climbing down too.
Okay.
But
Essek, you're with us. Come, for ease of use, the four of us.
Yeah, I'll go.
I'm gonna climb as well.
All of us are going.
So, are there two groups, or is it?
I guess we're just gonna kind of free ball it.
Okay.
No, this is a group. This is a group. I'm taking care of you three.
And you've got us. Here we go.
Okay.
yeah,
Probably could have dropped a rope to make this easier.
Yeah, fuck it.
Too late for that.
That would have been a good idea.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
No,
All right.
we would lose the rope. We can't get it from the. Oh, wait, you could. Okay, it's fine.
So, if I could have the three of you make athletics checks for me, please.
Okay.
Should go well.
Ding, 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 ding. 16.
23.
14.
The three of you actually managed to find some decent hand and footholds as you continue down. Some areas are a bit slick and the rock tends to crumble a little bit in others, but you still manage to confidently find your way down. Partway in your descent, you have this shadow drift by as it just kind of drifts over the edge and just glides down past you like an elevator. He just kind of looks over at you each as he slowly descends to the bottom.
Support wouldn't hurt.
Not going to lie, that is pretty cool.
Essek, can I jump on your back?
No.
Okay.
No.
IndyCar.
Yeah. Yeah, full Doppler effect on the way down. I'm sorry that would not work. But you guys managed to come down safely. The rest of you.
That's great, yeah.
You got it. Okay.
Is Essek with us?
You know what? Just to be specific about it, let's go right.
Thank God.
Thank you. I'm so used to putting you guys on the board.
Yeah, no.
That's okay. He rolled low initiative anyway. So.
Did you see
I'll go
Matt where?
right here.
Jester, you are still paralyzed, unfortunately. That ends your turn. It is now Essek's go.
Fuck 'em up. Now playing for Den Thalos.
Actually,
Essek.
could I?
Because Caleb, you're up. Yasha, you're on deck.
Okay, I will go just 5 feet diagonally towards the ice wall there, so I'm right next to Essek. No,
Oh, here?
other way. Pulling against the wall, please.
Against the wall, you got it.
Oh boy.
Pulling a cocoon.
Just a wizard.
Pulling a cocoon out of my satchel, and I begin to cast, pointing towards the undamaged one there, and I will turn that under giant, hopefully, into a sloth.
Into a sloth.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the
It's wisdom, and it's 18.
to this one here?
Yeah.
That is a failure.
Yes.
And I will continue to Essek really quickly. I will say, see you on the other side of the war, and slide along the ice towards this new sloth and get as close as I can.
Nice.
All right. So Essek will make his way to the front. Who else? Is anyone going to be aside Essek, or is Essek just going to be
How about
holding the
some
front
muscle for our friend?
I'll go with Essek, and I'll have the sword out so there's light at the front.
line? All right, you got it.
Talking about
Who's after them?
these muscles.
Jester's
right here.
behind
Yeah.
with.
Right.
I'll walk by Jester.
All right.
I'll go back there behind.
I'll
them.
join you.
Showing these
Great.
muscles.
You have more muscles than him. I was talking about
And
you.
bow in the rear.
It's going to go ahead and use the rest of its movement to scurry back into this space defensively. That's going to end its turn. Next up is Essek. Oh, Essek also, I need to roll for him too. He did not make a save. Ooh, he takes 52 points of cold damage.
52 points.
Baby boy.
Yeah.
Right?
We all took. Oh.
You succeeded on your save, so you took half, which is 26.
God.
Sure.
Yeah. So he's he's half hit points in one in one go.
Will you point to him on the map? Got it.
Yeah, but it's a 60-foot cone. This thing goes quite a way. Alrighty. So could I have a marching order as you all continue onward?
Do we need, can we see brown mold on our path ahead of us? Do we need Essek to...
Or just kind of avoid it in 10 foot.
He himself has kind of gathered his breath and goes, I am willing to carve anything we see. Just point it out to me. And I have it at my disposal. This is a very rudimentary spell.
You can say cantrip. We understand magic.
Yeah.
Cantrip.
Caleb walks over and palms Essek's like almost entire torso.
Oh, Caleb.
He looks over at Caduceus.
I'm aware. I'm just waiting for a
Don't
moment
like
where
this.
you're back to normal, and it's just easier for me to do everybody at
If you
once.
don't,
Pulls out the jester.
Yes, I understand. Put him down,
kind
Caleb.
of pats the finger, goes like, you can put me down, Caleb, please.
Well, that works too.
He's like clutching it.
He doesn't think clearly when he's an animal.
Evidently.
You look really cool up there, though.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's a good look.
Giant ape. This is great.
Yeah.
Once we're somewhere else where we can take 10 minutes, you can finally do that, and I can finally do what I need to do to bring everybody up.
Yeah.
All right. Whoever needs it. Very well. Lead on. What is the order?
Alphabetical.
Okay. So ape.
Caleb with Essek on his shoulder still, unless Essek wanted to hop off.
No, Essek has given in to his fate at the moment.
Jane.
Bo.
Bo. Caduceus. Then we have Ford, Jester, Veth, and Yasha. I remembered my letters.
I think this is a good order, honestly. Yeah, I think it's actually pretty good.
Alrighty.
Minus the traps that Caleb is definitely not going to find.
Well, we'll get to that.
Well, Essek's there.
All right. So, continuing down the extended hall, you can see some of the little pockets in the sides where some of these creatures have been traveling. There's little gaps in the wall, almost like side ducting, where you can see it's kind of broken and their space has been pushed through by where they move. But the hallway continues and then begins into an incline. About 150 or so feet in from this intersection.
I'll add into like Caleb this is not the dumbest Caleb has ever been as an animal, so I'm going slow. He's going like.
Apes are very smart.
Yeah, he's going real slow and like putting a toe out and feeling and waiting a second, and then going because he is scared of blowing up.
Essek is maneuvered behind to kind of like keep any sort of blast radius between ape between. This is like a 200-foot climb at this angle, just this ice-filled, kind of broken, awkward chamber. Caduceus, you slide back again. You don't go back quite as much this time as you've kind of navigated this now for a second time, but you do take 4 points of bludgeoning damage, not 2.
Ow.
Caleb's gonna dodge people and hop down and just scoop him up and put him over his other shoulder.
Okay,
Thank you.
Essek's gonna actually, as you begin moving down, Essek's gonna just be like, you go ahead, and just leaps off and is hovering above the ice, unaffected by the slickness. So,
The idea.
Ditch it.
Ditching
Take
the
it back.
idea. Not worth the
We're
risk.
so good at this.
Okay. So everyone except for Essek, you and I and Beauregard, please enter the hallway, Salamander Hall now.
all right.
All right.
Salamander
So
Hall.
everyone else is moving way over to the Salamander hallway where the intersection is. Got it. You all shift over there while the three of you, of which Beauregard only has eye line with Caleb, and Caleb only has an eye line to Essek. You're all clutching one of these 3 into it charges. kind of looking over the intricate designs that are scrolled into it.
I'm going to call 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And then you do it. And if it doesn't work, take it with you.
Do we go on dry or do we go on like in the imaginary?
Go on dry.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Dry. Okay.
All right.
Yeah? Okay, here we go.
Oh shit. Okay.
You get advantage.
I get advantage
You've been
and a
studying
d4.
your whole life for this.
1, 2, 3.
You all at once press into it.
Thank God.
He's going to go ahead and take his reroll.
Reroll.
Oh yeah, because he did a fortune's favor.
Yeah. 27.
Ooh, pretty good.
22.
22. Oh, that advantage was everything. Yeah.
At once, you all together click, release, and set down, and they all drift to the ground. And at first, there's a moment of like, did it work? Then you watch as all of the various grooves throughout the different moving plates pulse with a dull blue-green light. One time, a second time, and it begins to lift off the ground. All right, move, everyone move.
Hey ho, hey ho.
You all begin to run rapidly out this way, Essek gliding through the ruin. Caleb rushing. Caleb, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and just
fucker.
You're up a bunch of rocks and ruin, dude.
Still fucker.
All right. Make an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice.
Athletics or acrobatics? Those are my strong suits.
I know.
Acrobatics. Oh, good. 5.
Wait, did you use your fortune favor already?
No. 13.
Oh,
13. You stumble a bit and hit a loose rock, fall, but manage to go into your tumble and catch back on the ground and keep running.
Yo.
You slow down a little bit.
Grenade that falls behind him.
It slows you down a bit, and the other two, as you get up, like, come on, come on, come on! And you catch up to them at about the 20 or so second mark, as you did take a bit of a tumble, but it's now you have another 30 seconds before these set, and you feel like you can make the distance without
Faster,
issue.
faster, go, move.
As the three of
Let's go
you
fast.
immediately exit the chamber, looking behind, you watch as all three at once, just a slight half second from each other, go, chee, 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 and they're just gently, quietly floating.
Now, full disclosure, for the Inuit
Intuit charge.
Intuit charge.
Fucked everyone up.
Yeah. Mercer set you on a dark path.
I rolled both dice at the same time, thinking advantage when it's supposed to be one, and then you can choose the other one. But both those dice, so if you want to fudge what I just did, but rolling an advantage.
If you did that, then you would have tumbled.
Well, let's tumble then.
Okay. So Caleb tumbles a bit and gets his foot lodged in some of the rocks there.
Oh shit. Go get him! Okay, can I see this happen as I'm power walking by?
Yep.
I will ignite the boots I have and fly the fuck out of there.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
So as Essek and Beauregard turn around and notice that he's stuck, you go ahead and charge them. And as you do, for a moment, you're about to turn and go help him before he just, like cannonball of the X-Men, takes off and charges past both of you into the chamber before catching onto your feet. And now he's ahead of both of you.
Let's go. Okay, come on.
This was interesting indeed.
Let's go.
And he floats quickly alongside you as you all, he's a little slower, but nevertheless, you all manage to convene with the rest of the group. Thank you for being honest about that.
I wasn't sure. I was like, what do I do? What do I do? So
no worries.
It must be nice.
All right. So you all gather. The charge is set. The symbol's set. You are all now at the intersection. What do you do?
Okay. Tower?
yeah, I shove the wand into some loose rubble in front of a section of the wall and lay out the bits of glass, and in moments just laid within the wall, like I've cut a rectangle in the wall.
Mm-hmm. Impressive.
Come inside, you should see it.
But of course.
I go inside and immediately start casting Hero's Feast.
All right, roll me a d20, please. So, as this is happening, Essek kind of walks into the tower and looks around.
Yeah.
This is quite impressive. Is this of your own design?
Yeah, I've spent several months tinkering on it. It's for these chuckleheads. Look, though, this is your influence, pointing at the stained glass window to Dunamancy.
I'm happy to contribute to otherwise prominent Zemnian influence. But, truth be told, the better elements of Zemnian architecture.
Well, in the best of all choices, there would be less walls between us in general.
Yeah.
Someday, some century, maybe.
Maybe.
Thank you for coming with us this far. We could all very well die tomorrow.
Isn't that the truth of every day, though?
All right, well.
Essek, what's your favorite food?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't believe anyone's ever asked me that question.
You seem like a crepe person.
Ooh.
Interestingly enough, and I hope this does not sound strange, I'm a fan of simple soups. Stews.
Yeah. Really? Stews. Okay. Like beef stew?
Yeah, robust inclusion of all sorts of flavors and herbs, yes.
Okay. Sure.
That sounds
Doesn't really go with the cakes and the waffles,
Soup
but
and cake?
sure. Yeah, a stew.
Take
It's
'em
going
away.
to be a stew. In bread bowls.
Oh, hell yeah.
Stews for everyone. Oh, nice deep red wines
So
to
you
go
like
with
a
the
good
stew. That
crock
sounds
pot.
wonderful.
Yeah. Now we know what to get him for Christmas.
Nice crispy bugs.
There we go. A little bit of spice for flavor.
Antac 75.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
and I'll put
mandarin
some
oranges in a bowl.
Corn.
Do you?
Yeah.
Are you all right with me looking around? I'm just curious to see the space.
Just be back in 10 minutes, Essek, because this takes an hour to eat.
And don't go on the 8th floor.
I don't see any stairs. Is there a
Oh,
particular?
just
Up!
Yeah.
Up? Whoa!
You have to say it like that every time, though.
Magic is a very specific.
100%.
And as he kind of drifts up to the center, kind of looking around, kind of nodding with a slight smile to the side of his face. But yeah, so
Who's doing sentry right now?
Ford's outside.
So sentry means getting ready to slam the door shut if you hear.
Yeah.
Ow!
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If that's the case, I will follow up to. I'm not going to take long, but I'll
Yeah.
give him the highlights of the place.
all right. Have you rearranged the space since last time you made an architectural
yes,
change?
all the
The hot tub. Leave the hot tub.
it folds into the
Okay.
closets.
Of course it does.
This place follows logic and reason.
Design.
Hour, I don't know.
Intentional design.
That was the better version, let's be real.
That's the place.
Be large.
Ninja fight.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying, continuing this path, it would not be long until you are creating your own
Yeah.
permanent demiplane.
Remodel. Yeah.
Do you fuck with that at all?
Do you fuck with
I-
that?
I would like to eventually fuck with demiplanes, yes, but I'm still expanding my research.
Here, we are pressed for time, so let me show you one room in particular that you would appreciate.
Please, lead on.
You don't have to say up, you just think it.
It is fun to say, though.
It's true. Up.
Up.
So we'll just continue to spiral up and pass by library, bedchambers, more bedchambers. This is where we eat. There's lots of pies. This area is complicated, and then I will mutter my few words of Zemnian to the entrance to the 9th floor and float him up into the chamber full of stars and possibility and illusion.
Ah, indeed, I see the inspiration for this chamber is strongly worn on your sleeve.
already a quick student of Dunamancy, are you?
I have taken your lessons to heart.
You spoke once of intent. A lot of fortunes have changed since. What is your goal? Ultimately.
I think my priorities have mostly shifted since we last spoke about things like this. I think what's going on right now is more important than my petty earthly grievances. Still very much fascinated with and attracted to ability and skill, and it's not fashionable to say, but to power. Who doesn't feel the tug? Such a thing. But, yeah, I said it knowing your reaction was going to be. I see you outside. But it doesn't matter. There are bigger things than you and I.
I think that's the key. The pursuit of magic, in the ways that we know it, in the ways that we've been disparately, but in some ways similarly raised and studied. At a certain point, it becomes about the self. It becomes about what I can do. It's impressive that you've deviated at your skill level. I just hope it holds.
That's the key, isn't it? Because if you were to put the very thing that I have wondered about for so many years in front of me, I'm really not sure what my reaction would be.
You're still very young.
You've been around a while longer.
A bit. I know what pursuits of the mysteries of magic can bring. Good and bad. The fact that you can acknowledge this path gives me hope, but... well...
The one thing that has stayed true, though, is that I carry a lot of sins, like you do.
Not anywhere like I do.
Don't be so sure.
Kind of looks down to catch your attention. I'm pretty sure, young man.
I'll take you at your word. Everything that I worked for so many years was to atone. And I still want that. I'm just questioning if there is only one path to that atonement. I don't fool myself into thinking that I will absolve myself of those things, but I think that if I do enough, I can at least carry it more easily. You know what I mean?
I think I do. Well...
you know what a bunch of wizards in one place is? Fucking trouble.
Or if nature and history has taught us anything, eventually, it's just one left.
Come on, let's go down.
Who's ready?
You all come to the majestic spread that Jester has magically produced for you, all manner of flavors and scents, an odd mixture of all parts of delicacies.
Happened here allowed that. I doubt it couldn't have stopped it.
You can see Essek getting a very close look at this dome and occasionally running a hand across the exterior, and as he does, you can see all of these fractal patterns of arcane spirals that just kind of appear. Like there's an extra layer of arcana to each of these domes that lays unseen until a practiced magic user knows how to kind of pluck a bit and reveal it. And as he does, Essek turns and goes, whatever arcana is protecting these things is beyond my understanding.
I'm going to join him at the dome, and I want to get a closer look at this person. So, Caduceus, you told us everything that you heard, and the Rashad was
This person.
the person in the bubble, yeah?
Yes.
That's what it seemed.
Brashard?
Brashad.
With an R at the end?
Mm-hmm, Brashard.
I remember when you described it to him in the earlier game that they're like this.
Yeah, arms up, kind of in a proclamation or a
casting.
It's hard to tell. If you would like to make a perception check to see if you could peer through the dense kind of shifting of dome-like magical material to see.
Help me take a look at this, please.
Of course, of course.
Oh, I'm gonna guide you too.
Guide as well.
Both you and Essek are going to go ahead and make perception checks.
With a D4.
Oh, I rolled balls.
So did he. With the D4? Roll. It helps.
7 total. Rolled a 3.
Oof.
13 for him.
Okay.
You can make out primarily the same details that Caduceus did, if not as much as he did. You can see the pose, the positioning. At best, you can tell they were, amongst all the corpses that you've come across, very well dressed, a lot of jewelry, look to be of very high station visually. And the fact that they are in the middle of this amphitheater, given the context of what you've ascertained of its purpose, of what you learned from the corpse, this is probably a very important political individual within the context of the magocracy of Aeor. It's hard to tell if they're in the middle of an impassioned speech or the middle of a spell being cast.
Well, so I don't know, but my suspicion is, put yourself in her place at that time. The building is being thrown down from the sky. What is she doing? Is she giving an impassioned speech to the people, telling them to be calm? Is she saving herself?
It is hard to say. From what I know, at least from what information has been gathered, it is said throughout history that the Aeorian people were very what is the word in common? Self-focused.
Exactly.
So whether that is to the individual or to the other people here, if it was an attempt to save, that was quite obviously a failure, as he kind of glides around and gestures to the droves of long dead bodies around you.
I think so too. I think she definitely wanted to save herself, maybe others, but I don't think these mages disturbed the gods to the point where they threw them out of the sky.
I think these mages created the city.
Yes. Charlie, are you familiar with this entire city?
This is Aeor.
Yes. Do you know it backwards and forwards?
I have an internal map of the of Aeor.
Well, we're letting the high kid guy us. So this will at least be an adventure.
Is it possible for you to talk very quietly?
I can speak very quiet.
Oh.
Can you not speak at all? I give him a tap.
Hello, I'm Charlie.
Hi.
Let's get to the Genesis ward, I think.
Shh, Charlie, shh.
Oh, this is Bo. I'm Caduceus. Let's go around.
Hello, I'm Yasha.
Beth. Caleb Widowgast.
I'm Jester.
Pip Ford.
I'm Charlie.
Excellent.
This is Essek.
Essek. And Essek goes, I don't trust it.
Good.
He's smart.
We need
Get
someone.
moving.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep.
Well, lead on.
Yeah.
As
We head back to the road.
Jester carrying Charlie on her back, you all quietly begin to make your way to the exit of the amphitheater. Essex staying a safe 15 feet behind before kind of brushing up next to you and going, you do know about Aeor, right?
A decent amount. What are you alluding to?
Well, many things were designed for warfare here, against the gods themselves. Just be careful of trusting anything at face value.
I haven't done that in a very long time.
You may live yet.
Stay close.
And as you all begin to drift into the shadow, we're going to take a break. I'm invisible. And does not look towards you. Instead is going to fire towards Essek.
No!
Oh, Bobby.
Hit Caduceus, no!
Old food or
It
something.
takes 24 points.
24? Wow.
Points of psychic damage.
Okay.
As the beam streaks forward and slams him, and you watch him go, ah! And he's currently holding aside.
Oh no.
Which, for the record, I'm going to do Essek's turn after this because I keep forgetting. You have too many players. 7d4 plus 7 points of damage to this thing. As Essek floats up a bit in the air and releases his hand like this, and as he does, these 5 darts out of his hand and then 2 out of his palm rush around and arc out towards the side of the hallway before all exploding into the center, hitting it from all sides, and you see this like burst of force energy in the middle.
Yeah, so dope.
I love magic missiles.
Yeah. What is it?
Magic
missile.
Magic missile, just auto hits.
Good on classic. Yeah.
It's the dark
Didn't
side.
you have a
Dark
lot?
side UniBeam.
I did.
Yeah.
Scanlan had a lot of
These are
wands.
good rolls. So 29 points of force damage to it.
Don't we have a wand of smiles? How come we never use that? Use
More
that
creatures
one.
need to smile.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right, and Essex can go ahead and drift off to this side and try and put more distance between him and the creature while staying within the radius. As he kind of drifts back and goes, Caleb, you're all right.
No.
Me neither.
There's another one! All right, I'll creep out of the dome and go down to the door.
I'll go with you.
Oh, good. I need some light.
If you are to be scouting ahead for a portion of this, let me, He reaches into his pouch and Essek pulls out this small, dark, spherical pearl and kind of holds it out in front towards your forehead. And you feel this familiar kind of a shunting of energy into your face that kind of warms through you, and you have a mote of possibility via Fortune's favor.
Oh,
Shit.
thank you, Essek.
Lacking in originality, but okay.
Thank you. All right.
I heard that, and I taught it to him.
It's technically the OG.
He places it upon his forehead, too, and kind of takes it into him.
Can I get you anything? Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Hello.
If you need anything, just ask.
Hello.
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 Oh,
Hi.
no.
I heard that, and I move closer to the rest of the group, and keeping an eye on Caduceus and Charlie. I actually go over to Essek. How are you on pearls?
I mean, I'm
brought a number with myself, but I will always accept more. Why?
Yeah, I fish out 3 from the 7. Here, take these.
Thank you.
They go fast.
True enough.
Records?
Records. Might be something.
It's the room, it's the room, it's definitely the room. Or at least it's the same floor, it's the same area that I saw them in. We need to go.
Okay. Okay.
We go.
Yeah.
Caleb, are you going to catch up?
Are you going to catch up?
Yes, I'm going
Stay
to.
with Caleb.
Okay.
Why are you staying with Caleb?
I don't want to leave him alone.
In a couple minutes already. It'll take a few minutes for us to get down. He'll just go last. I think it'll.
Yeah.
We can juggle this.
Okay. Any good notebooks? Scoop them up. Paper and notebooks.
You know me.
Okay. All right, let's go.
I wave with my eye.
It's weird when I wave with the back of my hand.
You don't have to do that, you could just do that.
I don't like any of that.
Essek, at which point goes, I'll stay as well, just to help keep watch.
Okay, we are on a timetable, everybody. I do want to,
Okay.
timetable.
We'll go.
Let's go. Collect our people.
Caleb.
I'll send a message upstairs. Caleb, any progress? You almost done? You can
No,
reply to this
good.
message.
That was a good chunk of time, right? I'm just wrapping up.
So, as you're in there kind of collecting and preparing the spell, Essek's kind of leaning against the wall, arms crossed. So, what is everyone's hope through this?
Well, as I'm putting down stacks of Dunder Mifflin, almost like it's a pallet, and then also grabbing books that I did not even inspect and plopping them down in for inspection later. What do you mean, in this room, or do you mean down below?
Down below.
6 feet under the ground.
I just have a general sense of unease. I did not sleep well last night, and the more I begin to see Beauregard, yourself, return with these markings, I've only just recently learned to trust. It's hard to begin to mistrust so quickly. So I just need your assurance that you will be forthright should anything begin to change.
Well, here's the thing. Stack. I cannot guarantee you. I know what these do, or that I can handle what they might bring. But my friends down below will make sure that there is no harm come of it. I'm not going into this blind. I say it is worth the risk. If whatever is down there returns, your home, my home, is in question, so...
Let me ask you this. You carry this worry and weight that Master Ickathon gives chase as well, yes?
Yeah.
Which is more important to you? That chase or this one?
This one.
Good.
If we don't take care of this, we can't take care of that. I have a great many desires for my home. But they are on the back burner, as they say.
I understand. I only ask because I've seen great many prospective talents like yours grow unfocused in times of necessity and decisive action.
You're not curious about what's around you right now?
I'm extremely curious. I'm taking in everything I can, but I also understand that If one is to keep their nose in a tome, somebody else needs to be paying attention. I've also been around a lot longer than you have. I know how to curb these curiosities for the sake of what's directly ahead. I can sense a similar discomfort in some of your compatriots.
Yes.
Some things can wait. But I've only touched the beginning of this. I can only assume that there is going to be many more intriguing mysteries played before us, but they are not what our goal is. If we survive all of this, then maybe we'll return, make a trip of it. But I just worry.
Psst. Hey, this place is creeping me the fuck out. I don't know if you remember that we split up with our party, but we should probably go.
Wrapping up.
You heard the woman? Thank you, Yasha.
You're welcome. I'll hold the rope.
Purple thing.
Essek, as you are kind of going through the chamber and preparing your spell, Essek's going, there's something odd about this room.
What is it?
It's hard to explain. It's like a flavor in the air, a scent that's familiar.
Eyes of the grave.
You sense nothing.
Which is the cracked one? Terminal 1?
Terminal 2 is the correct one.
Terminal 2 is cracked.
Would
We can talk to any of
Caleb
these.
or Veth, with all their experience with chemicals and components, recognize the smell?
It's not a smell. It's not a taste. Make a perception check, Caleb.
Ozone? Perception, you say?
Yes.
That is a 19.
A 19? You begin to catch some of it too. Something oddly familiar, so subtle. And as far as a sensory contact to it, it's almost extra sensory. And you can't quite place it until Essek makes eye contact with you and goes, Dunamis. This chamber has Dunamis.
Well, that's interesting.
Indeed.
Left is what's with the armor.
Anything cool with the... Oh.
More so than even when Essek pointed it out, the space here after that display, you can strongly sense the expended dunamis in this space. And you immediately begin to tie the reasoning behind this effect and the acceleration of time, localized time.
Wow.
And Essek is like kneeled down at the purple gem and is like, how are they doing this?
I've got a crazy idea.
Huh?
Oh, the eyes.
That would accelerate the eyes.
Or
Oh, yeah.
It accelerates the rest.
It's a long rest. It's not like reset.
Darn.
Unless the green stone makes it go a different direction.
I kneel down next to Essek at the gem. It is difficult. There is so much to learn here. Pray there's time afterward.
If there's time afterward. But yeah, like a water jug underneath a dripping.
As you're having this conversation,
Oh, boy.
you watch Essek kind of drift over to the second, damaged one. He gets down, looks closely at the purple gem. Ah. Caleb. Points at the gem.
I can peer over his shoulder
Do
too.
I see what he's referring to?
You glance over towards it, and as he touches the back of your head and kind of pushes your head close to it, and for a second you kind of resist. As you glance in, the purple coloration begins to fade to the back, as instead you begin to see elements of space, drifting possibilities. It's almost like a weaker, smaller replica
Beacon.
of a beacon.
Oh shit.
Embedded in the device right there.
That's cool.
This will do a lot for their religion.
And this was not in the other, or it was and it's gone dark?
A similar gem is in the one, but that one's gone dark.
Yeah. What do you do with this knowledge?
I don't know.
Should you take it?
Yeah, do you want to?
Yeah, can you swap a do?
Or we just take it? I'm not
Whatever
that
you decide
badly.
to do, we should do it quickly because
We should do that. I'm not that badly.
True enough. You stand up a bit, see Essek puts his hand out and begins to concentrate, his eyes narrowing. As he does, you watch as the smooth, relatively untouched stone base of this glass tube device begin to crack and crumble before you see it get pulled away and dragged onto the ground behind, scattering the glass, breaking, and as opposed to shattering around you, being shunted off to the backside of the wall, scattering on the ground.
He controlled the direction of it all smashing apart?
Yeah. As it all scatters across the way, it's just the base now where it's cracked. And as that all falls away, he turns his hand up, and as he does, it's almost like an invisible hand digging into clay and lifting through as it sifts past the fingers. You see the rock lift and then crumble, and there in the center you see this diamond-shaped gem of like faint dark purple coloration that was now released. And he kind of lifts it and drifts it over into your hand.
Don't you think you should hold on to this?
There's two, isn't there?
True. I'm just struck by the enormity of what I'm holding in my fingers.
Are you going to take the other one, Essek?
If we have time.
Won't that break the machine?
Yeah, that breaks the machine.
Is that okay? I guess we're not.
We're leaving.
Keep the machines.
I could keep this one machine and keep that one as we go.
Yes,
Okay.
keep one intact.
B3
We
to
know
B9.
that this is here. Yeah.
We can come back.
To be
Won't matter if
9.
we don't.
Okay,
Or to be 10,
we go.
Here you go.
All right.
Be 9.
or not to be.
Beth?
Just around the doorway somewhere.
Right here. Okay, Essek, I'll say, is probably just starting to emerge out here.
I was going to say the wizards were probably lagging, so I'll be behind him.
Okay. Beauregard? As you all go leaping off the edge, kind of going into the faith maneuver of jumping into the darkness, you look down, elements of the water splashing to the right of you. You can now see in that odd moment of intensity, time seems to almost slow as you take in the immensity of the vacuous space around you and the darkness that you're plummeting towards. As your featherfall kicks in, the two of you begin to take off on your flight, and watch as Essek begins to float down as well, kind of keeping pace with those who are featherfalling. You just kind of begin to drift downward, and you pass another floor and another floor. Now, mind you, as part of featherfall, you still fall at the angle that you're going.
Yeah, that's why I said
why
don't
we
leap.
kinda-
I just stepped off so that I would go down.
Okay. The path just continues, and there is a platform beneath you at
Ford, grab my hands.
floor 6.
He pulls me
You guys just go straight to 9?
I zip past Essek and just showboat just a little bit.
I think the flyers can probably pull people out so they're falling
I'll let them
all the way to
showboat,
9.
Yeah, I'll kind of Australian Shepherd, like.
Essek has fly on himself and begins to showboat as well.
Oh,
Showboat.
Whoa.
I go over to Beth and I'm like,
like the electrons of an atom.
tail at the zoo.
You just have Caleb, Ford, and Essek just kind of flying around the slowly falling, uncontrolled mass of the rest of the Mighty Nine,
a little water ballet. Don't mind us.
descending down deeper and deeper into the darkness of the remains of the Genesis Ward. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode. This is like if you had stumbled upon, after years and years of studying the greatest poets, finding the lost tome of the greatest poet ever. There is something about this circle that is unlike anything you've seen, and while firmly based in transmutation, is a level of intricacy that even you're having a hard time to grasp at first, until you realize it's because it's not based in pure transmutation.
It's a merger of transmutation and elements of dunamancy. In fact, the 31 is heavily based in temporal alteration.
That means temperature.
Yeah. Can you make it warmer in here?
I wonder if Athodan stood in here once.
Who's Athodan?
We just learned about him up above in the records room.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Should I go get Essek? Or...
I'm memorizing the shit out of this. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Oh my gosh, you could recreate this later and then open up a portal into
I kind of speed walk.
fifth dimension.
Essek,
Yes?
come here.
All right.
Something interesting.
It squeezes through the opening and kind of follows you into the chamber. Kind of looks down at like the scattered papers and kind of grabs a couple and looks over at you.
Anything familiar?
Kind of glides forward and starts looking over it in a very curious way, and then his eyes go wide, and then he gets down, like on his hands and knees almost, like looking at it and kind of glancing about.
I give him guidance.
I've had theories, but
what are the machines all around this circle?
from what you can see around, a lot of them, some of them appear to be the equivalent of like an arcane seismograph. They are record keeping and kind of reading fluctuations in arcane energy. Some of them even in different schools of magic, almost like there was some sort of tweaking and turning of knobs to see where a specific balance was in some way. You can see the paper that Essek kind of grabbed, and he looks down and starts like rummaging through some of the scattered notes and small like leather-bound books. Starts glancing through. This device borrows a lot of tenets of dunamis development, which even further confirms that Aeor was dabbling in some familiar territory. Maybe there's something here we can find. And he just starts like rummaging through stuff.
And there's refuse and like shattered stuff around. In
Yeah,
addition to
there's
whatever
like those material containers, the component containers that have been shattered and left to rot.
I'll start searching for anything written
The whole
in
book.
here.
Okay, make an investigation check with advantage because of Yasha's help.
With Essek going outside, I'm going to walk about 25 yards back the way we came and just kind of take a knee and listen.
Make a perception.
I'm sitting at
in
the
the
door
hallway?
listening as well.
I'm coming with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna help look for anything that isn't broken in the room.
Okay, make an investigation check. So first, perception checks.
18.
12.
Seems fairly clear.
I'm with him, and I can also see anything invisible within 10 feet of,
Indeed.
or at least hear it.
Nothing.
Natural 20 for a total of 31.
A lot of these are just general logs, like day-to-day logs, quick notes about findings, adjustment of channeling. Actually, things referring to the primal artifact.
Primal artifact.
But what catches your attention is one of these thick log books you open up, and within a quick glance through, there's an image that immediately catches yours and Essek's attention. There's a 12-sided object.
There it is.
To where within you can see artistic renditions of starscapes within. And as your spell is still there, it says, it speaks of development between Athodon and Archmage Ioshadaf
Yoshadov.
And their study of the primal artifact, channeling the seemingly limitless source of temporal transmutation that is still vastly untapped. He believes one can anchor a point in one's history and temporarily shunt oneself there.
Fucking time
Oh my god, they're Aeorians.
If successful, expansion to designating anchor points beyond one's own timeline may be possible.
Temporal alteration.
And this is indicating this can be done with the
Don't
beacons.
give the wizard this.
It's indicating that this device
Here
is
before us.
right before you was the beginning experimental stages of sussing this out.
No. Oh no.
You continue to read on because you rolled
Doc.
super fucking high. It speaks on the experimentation process after initial development, that an echo of the individual is left behind when they transfer. The shadowed echo that is the anchor of them to their own timeline, while they're shunted into their own.
So echo and present, full self in.
Keeping them
That's what
connected
they're in
into
the
the
bubbles?
timeline.
The echo is in the bubbles, you think?
That's 100%.
You don't know about that specifically. This is dealing with this scenario.
Yeah.
Okay.
There could be connections.
Related.
That may require a lot more
Yeah.
time and research as you continue, perhaps.
Plus, you can fuck with an anchor.
Further logs speak of mages experimenting with the temporal dock.
T-Doc.
It's the T-Dock. Only spending a few seconds in transit, but the physical stress already proving worrying. Later experiments lament the individuals spending longer than predetermined within the dock, ending with the echo fading in the individual never to return. And then the final notes complain of challenges in acquisition for funding and approval for continued research. And that's where the logs end.
They never fund science enough.
It's true.
I look to Essek and say, unbelievable, isn't it? Except I don't say it, I accidentally just think it.
He kind of... Like I said, it confirms some of my theories on both sides. If one could change the past.
It's interesting.
A chance to correct mistakes. It's alluring, regardless of how dangerous.
Not enough to go on. Curious.
Yes. Not
Curious,
enough to go on.
Yes, I agree. I concur.
Indeed.
Indeed.
How big is that logbook?
From what you see, it's maybe about 50 pages.
I take it.
Okay. Perhaps if we survive this, we can return
And change the past?
exchange theories.
Does that mean what I think it means? Is he coming on to you?
I think. What do you think it means?
I think he's coming on to you.
She hears, it's complicated. Well, we have a task at hand, yeah?
All right, and the last one is again Essek, which natural 19 that hits.
Ooh.
All right, so Ford, you take 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
Woo, baby!
And 4 points of acid.
Okay.
And Essek takes. Ooh, that's not good. 29 points of bludgeoning damage.
Get to the portal.
And 2 points of acid damage. Essek's looking a little rough. As he takes the hit, he's like, ah! And against coughing, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
And so does that.
Put it on sheet.
Does my movement get me all
You
the
have a
way to the
movement
portal?
of 60 right now.
Oh,
Because you're no longer
so-
holding Essek.
Because I'm no longer holding Essek. So on my way out,
I'm gonna draw a dick.
Oh, but however, actually, this is a valid point. Essek did take damage. He took 31 damage. We'll see if he drops the fly spell.
Oh.
Does he have Warcaster? He does, right?
He does. So he gets, which is good because his first roll was a 3.
That'll do it. Natural 18. Yeah.
Yes.
So he maintains concentration on fly. You remain able to make this turn. So as you glide towards Essek withdraws and kind of stays floating in position and is going to go ahead and back up a bit. There's a little bit of movement left, which is also super high intelligence. Finishing Essek's go, it is now Caleb's.
Okay, I don't think that the oogity boogity that's right there is right on top of me. It looks like it's a bit of a distance. Hopefully it is.
No, it's within 5 feet of you.
Within 5 feet of me?
Yeah.
All right, then I'm just going to pull out my cat's cradle and slam it into the stone and send streaks of fire with Widowgas Web of Fire towards the 3 that are closest to me.
There, and there.
And one, I can go underneath the thing that Yasha's miniature is on to get the one that's just laughing on the ground.
Correct.
And one to streak diagonally past the one closest to me to get to the one on the far fountain.
Oh. So you're going to hit all 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Essek's go. Essek kind of glides up, figures that they've got that one over there. Is going to go ahead and kind of join Jester over in this space.
Please glide up.
Essek, do better. Do better than me.
He's going to go ahead and firebolt that one. Oh, natural 19. Yeah, that'll do it.
Should have these nuts.
So as you're screaming, Veth, the creature is like reaching out. It's beginning to wrap around you. You can feel the teeth beginning to push to burrow into your exposed arms. And as you pull back, suddenly it catches fire and begins to just screech, this high-pitched screech with multiple mouths around its body. It pulls away from you as you kind of shove it off, and you watch as it begins to burn against the branch. And as it hits the branch and burns, instead of the branch blackening, the branch begins to move away from it. And you begin to see the bark on the tree itself turn into flesh. As that part of the branch begins to retract and form into the tree, elements around you of the branches you can now see elements of eyes kind of peering through for a second. The tree itself also appears to be partially made of flesh.
Sure.
Gross. Fleshy trees.
But it is gone.
Okay.
Essek kind of looks up at you and goes, there we go, teamwork.
Good job.
Thank you, Essek.
With that brings us to Caleb's.
Is there anything
I'm
I can't
eating trail mix
see?
in the middle of the
Any
battle.
baddies on the map from? Oh, there. Okay.
Yeah.
One right
In game.
So Caleb watches Essek huck some fire, and he just sort of smirks to himself and does the same and throws a firebolt at the thing right below, messing with Bo.
Go ahead and roll for an attack.
Mm-hmm. Natural 20.
Yo!
Firebolt. 14. 21, so a total of 42 points of fire damage.
Oof.
Because of crit.
How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Sure.
What do we do if we find something?
Scream like a bitch.
Yep. Yasha and I will take this, we'll take, whoops, wrong end. That was my, almost my,
Caleb, I'll stick with you just in case.
Thank God I have 3 other eyes. We'll take this,
Okay, so Yasha and Bo.
this one, yes.
All right.
Which one do you want?
Who's taking what structure is?
Do you want to take that little one in the corner over there?
Yeah, let's go look at the little one in the corner.
Just in forward
Over
away.
here. All right.
Somebody
Essek
got our
raises a
exchange
hand.
student wizard. Essek.
Oh yeah.
I'll go in. Is anyone searching the middle building?
I can go with you if you prefer.
Sure. Come.
All right,
Yes.
so Essek and Veth will go into the middle. Continuing onward, on foot for those who wish.
I'll float.
You float.
Can we all still float?
We all.
You can still float. Some people move faster on foot than
I'm gonna hop every now and then. But
I move a little bit faster.
I do
So I'm
too if
gonna
I float. So I'm gonna float.
Yeah.
Okay.
What up, Essek?
Yep. Essek is the fastest of all of you, by the way.
Well, whatever.
Even faster than you.
I'm gonna do that wall run occasionally.
Just barely.
Yeah. Upside down wall, yeah.
Not a contest.
He's got me beat by 100.
Only not a contest if you're winning.
Yeah. Yeah.
You all begin coasting forward quickly.
He's not going to stop. He's going to do it again.
Be reborn.
I'm
Is that what you
saying
think?
we just the stone. We just throw
Just
the
send
stone
the
into
stone?
Yes. And we stay
the
behind.
plane.
Clean up this mess.
You're
Essek
right,
is
he would.
currently kind of like breathing heavy. Essek's pretty hurt because
We mentioned time being strange in places, yes? We've dabbled a bit in strange time. Isn't that right, Caleb?
Well, no. In little dribs and drabs, and we've just found a very interesting lead, but they're quite as... What are you thinking?
Are you suggesting...
Can you freeze time?
You experiment with some untested dunamancy shit that hasn't seen the light of day for 2,000 years? Is that what you're suggesting?
So we can sleep?
That is precisely what I went into studying for, to be honest. But there was a device in Aeor that we'd come across that you had utilized.
The happy
that's
fun
right.
ball?
Oh!
Oh,
Wait, the lead-lined chamber.
yeah, the tubes?
Right.
Oh, the regeneration capsule!
Do we still have that piece?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course. Bing.
It's worth a shot, but if we would be able to reenact that skip in time forward.
In like a bubble? What if, like, could you put up the dome and we use the... Is that stupid?
No.
I don't know how this shit works.
You mean, are you talking about the individual capsule we were in, or a room that we could all be in?
Yeah, like if we could put up the dome and make it work like the tube.
It was designed for... what we had seen was designed for a specific individual, for repeated uses. We managed to acquire, mine from it, this source, this dunamantic source crystal. I do not believe it would survive such a... what is the term in common? Overclocking?
So it would be enough for like one time all of us get a good restoration.
If it works.
If we what? Oh my god. Crush it inside of the dome?
Or at least focus what powers I have left and any you have to give into it together.
Be fully restored in a matter of minutes.
Seconds, if successful.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Or it could destroy and unravel time entirely in ways that we have not seen.
Well,
Considering where we are,
exactly.
We're
We're
on
in
the
the
verge
middle
of
of the
that
astral
already.
sea. But to that point, though, everything here is a fractal. Everything from the tome to the city to 9 bodies inside of 9 somnovum. Everything is a fractal. So what does that do? What does that do if you start messing with time in a place where...
Shin is coming. Loose Shin is coming. Whatever we decide, we have to
Send
do
it.
it quickly because we have to get
Send-
rid of this threshold crap.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, does that just get rid of this place? Like, would we all just disappear, or just, like, everything?
Answer that.
Yeah. I agree, though.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm genuinely.
That is the
I'm
risk
genuine-
that I'm presenting here. But we will have...
room are we going to? Not that flesh tunnel right here, and get that one.
I don't think
There,
he's gonna go
there
back
might be
into
more here. He needed a few to get here.
He needed 2.
Needed to.
There might already be a bunch here that we don't know. Let's just
all right.
assume he's got a plan B.
Yeah.
He's here now with us. We finish this problem
Then
now.
we fake rest and we go find him.
Let's get out of this room, I think.
Yeah, do we take our rest back at Aeor, meaning we use your plane shift to go back?
No, because then
No.
we
I don't
can't
think
get
we
back.
can get
We're not going to plane
No,
shift
we
to
do it
Aeor.
there.
We're going to plane shift to Exandria.
We need to.
I mean, I
finish
think the
this.
regeneration capsule that Essek is talking about is in Aeor, right?
No.
No, he's
No.
saying
Talking about making one
recreate it
here.
here.
About jury rigging the dome.
Yes.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
We robbed one crystal from one of the devices there and took it with us.
I remember. Okay, great.
I say it's worth a shot.
Let's
Yeah.
just do it in this. I mean, where else? What other room are we going to? Not that flesh tunnel, right?
Fair point.
If anything, we would go up into one of the houses.
That are also alive.
Moving and shit.
We also were close to that hallway that said help, help, help. Don't forget that Yusa is here somewhere.
Then let's just do it here.
Yes, I agree.
Take a couple seconds and go.
All right.
But if it does go bad, like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, does that just get rid of this place? Like, would we all just disappear, or just, like, everything?
Answer that.
Yeah. I agree, though.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm genuinely.
That is the risk that I'm presenting here. But we will not have achieved a lot of the great things that we have as people through history, let alone together as friends, if we didn't take risks.
It's a short-term jump, relatively speaking.
Correct.
We're not going to go back 500 years and undo all of history.
No, worry about that. I just worry about, like, what if we just, like, end everything?
Or end us. I can't really
Exactly.
die.
I'm more concerned about the fact that everything here just seems to splinter off into a bajillion different pathways to an infinity. So I hope we all don't turn into dust, is all I'm saying.
Considering the options currently available, that actually seems like a relatively light way to go.
I thought you were a clay.
I don't know how to put this, but we are currently on what is possibly the universe's largest cadaver. This is what I was born to do, is put this thing fucking down. Let's end this shit. Thank you. Wow, I said a lot of words.
I'm hearing a curse word. That's the first time I've heard you use it.
Me too. This place is getting to me.
I think it's getting to all of us.
You're the one with the kid.
I mean, are we gonna die? Are we about to die?
I don't think we're gonna die.
No.
I think we're gonna rest.
I don't think it would destroy us. If things go wrong, it might make things a little strange.
Artie will protect us. Don't worry.
I guess that's reassuring. He's been killed several times and not die.
Why can't I die?
All right.
Taken.
Get this thing out.
Leave my body. All right, sure. Let's try to get a super fast rest with science.
Here, right now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do it. I swear to God, Essek, if you fuck this up.
Well, you wouldn't really be around to do anything after that.
No, you
Nope,
wouldn't.
but it just, my essence will haunt you.
True. No.
Guidance.
And I would deserve it, like I deserve all the things that haunt me.
Oh, Essek.
Don't
killer.
offer me any solace.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a horrible person.
And now that we've established it, let's help save the world.
Actually, I have to do one thing very quickly. Can I have one of those residuum crystals, please?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, okay.
The
so-
shards?
Yes. Very quickly, I get down on the ground and I take off. I don't take it off. I hold the residuum shard in one hand and I hold it together with the medallion that I'm wearing, and I'm going to cast Fabricate and slowly melt the residuum around the necklace.
Okay, interesting.
Okay. Okay, let's do this wildly foolish risk.
Jester, you want guidance on Caleb and
All right.
Right, gather close.
For science.
Do we
Who
huddle
has
up?
the object?
Do we touch each other? What do we do?
Oh,
Do we want? Is there any practical reason to surround us in a dome bubble to do this, or do we think?
I think it would be fine if we do it quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, you
And
can
so-
spell anything you can.
As you all begin to gather up, he pulls out what looks like a piece of dark chalk and finds a section of the floor where he begins to draw different dunamantic symbols in this patterned array, making you progressively more and more uncomfortable as the designs begin to come together. And some of them are a little more intricate for even your understanding, but you begin to pick up the basics of it, kind of using this stone as a focus. Not unlike how residuum is used as an amplifier device in, a number of other laboratories. But as you all kind of gather around, he sits and places the stone in the middle of it, and then sits on one side of it and kind of gestures for you to get on the opposite end.
Beauregard, if you can't sprinkle, there are 9 of us.
Sprinkle.
we are the Nonagon.
TWK, incoming. Total world kill.
Now, what's your highest currently available spell slot?
High? Oh, not that high. 5th.
5th. Okay. It's going to take a roll from you and Essek, and you get to add 5 to that roll because that is the spell level spent on it.
Oh, dang.
He's dropping his 8th level spell that he's been saving
We
this whole
can't.
time.
Can't help. We can't. I mean, we guided. That's all we can do.
Guiding
roll credit.
Guiding
We'll
helps.
add a 4, a
Okay.
Add a
D4.
D4.
Oh, a D4. Is it adding Arcana or anything, or it's just a D20
No.
plus?
Plus the power of the spell that you are powered
Got it.
with.
Plus guidance.
So plus.
I grabbed just as it.
Rockin'.
Come on.
I'm gonna roll it out front.
Rockin'. Did very well.
Natural 20. Plus 2. Plus 8. So that's a 30 from Essek.
Oh my god.
Dirty 24.
Dirty 24.
Oh, we're not gonna die.
No. Combined 40 was
Not
my
today.
threshold on that.
Oh my god.
Combined 40.
40? Wow.
Whoa!
Holy shit.
What would have happened if not?
That's in this post-campaign
Oh
conversation.
my
But for now,
You don't know.
for now, there's that brief moment where you see Essek, sweat beginning to form on his forehead as he's concentrating, and as you're kind of focusing your spell energy towards this crystal, you see it begin to glow brighter and brighter and brighter. Not unlike the way that the threshold crest was taking on that filament-like brightness, but this itself has a deep, deep purplish hue. And you see it begin to like flicker, not unlike the symbol that you were seeing, which makes you extremely uncomfortable. In a moment, you feel this urge to just rush in and stop it. But as you do, Essek twitches his arms around it and then draws his fingers in two different directions, and you see this kind of small tear in reality, a break in reality, if you will. And with that, you can see in a brief moment in this sliver, hundreds of realities just brushing by at an endless speed. He begins to take and fold that tear around, almost like if the tear in space-time became a thread, and wrap it around this stone. And as soon as it begins to close on it, it shatters, and we're gonna go to break. Magic's weird, y'all. Welcome back here in a few minutes. The hour rest. Is there anything else you would like to handle, discuss, say?
Oh,
Let's go get it. We've got a job to do.
this could be our final goodbye, though. Is there anything you want to say to each other? Any warm words of encouragement or
Yeah, we're going to
things that we don't want to leave unsaid? Confessions to make? I've stolen from all of you!
We know.
We know.
I mean,
Essek leans forward and goes, please.
Okay.
I beg of you.
Stop workshopping your stand-up bit.
I'm good. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Caleb stands up and says, Mighty Nine. Wait a moment. Frumpkin appears on his shoulder. There we go. Mighty Nine.
Oh, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Oh, but sprinkle as well. So now we're the mighty 10. No, bring Frumpkin back. Now we're the mighty Omega. We can overpower the Somnovum. We've got our own 10.
Mighty Tsane.
Let's go hunt.
Essek finishes his final bit of the meal and kind of looks around, and it has certainly been a very curious way that our paths have intertwined this past year or so. I'm not going to focus on the burden of shame that I carry for the things I've done in the past. But I'm very thankful for the things I've done since our paths have come together. And if today is to be my final attempt at making good the things I've done, I'd be all right with that. I thank you for your trust.
To crime?
Crime.
Let's crime it up.
Crime.
To war crime.
Let's bury a city.
Yeah.
Done and ready?
Hero's Feast disappears.
Oh, fucking Mr. Bearclaw. Fuck.
Meeting the words simultaneously. Come. It's far prettier from up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go too.
Yeah.
Up. Let's go.
I'm gonna cast Intellect Fortress again on myself.
Okay.
Lamb.
Essek kind of glances over and just gives you a look, Caleb, and a nervous nod, and drifts up to follow as you all begin to rise up into the skyline above. Approaching, you see. I believe that finishes your turn, Yasha.
Finish my
just
turn.
Sorry.
Do
a
I?
second time.
Yeah, she's like, oh.
Can I can't roll out of being
There's
charmed,
not a
right?
save for this at the moment.
There's not a
No.
save. Okay.
You're not quite sure how to break it. I'm sorry. That finishes your go, Yasha. It is now Essek's go. Essek, frustrated, is going to go ahead and it's going to cast the spell magic on you, actually.
Ooh.
Oh.
It's going to go ahead and, seeing this happen as you're attacking, it's going to go ahead and reach up. Yasha, be free of this influence! And scattering his hand, you see these like shards of black energy, almost like magic missiles, arc off, and looking like they're about to strike you like weapon, instead crackle across the surface of you. And hell yeah! No, that works. It's an 18.
Yes.
You're fine? You're
The
okay?
charm is removed from you. You're still hasted, but the charm is now dispelled off of you.
I give a quick kiss to Bo.
Okay.
I mean, I know that's probably an action. I love you.
Essek goes, oh,
As we know,
and then darts behind the tower.
I'm so confused. Both showing her tits and getting kisses in the middle of the fight. This is very confusing.
he's for the win once again.
All right,
What's
that finishes
happening?
Essek's turn. Caduceus, you're up. He's gonna go ahead and Goddess is gonna swish over towards Essek.
Oh.
Essek gets advantage on saving throws, which is good because that was not enough. 17, 15. Essek fails.
Oh no, Essek.
As
Oh no.
as Essek is over there in the air, floating, all of a sudden looks
he's
up.
charmed.
The eyes kind of widen with this faint kind of reddish orange energy,
Oh no.
and then looks aggressively towards the rest of you.
Oh no.
Shit.
Oh no.
Getting a peek into the alternate timeline that we could have had.
Oh god. This is like a charm spell or a.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a charm effect, yeah.
It needs a dispel.
And with that, he's going to go ahead and set up for the second one, which is going to be another Fastodon. The end of that, Jester, your turn. Ford, you're on deck.
Okay. Having seen Ford not doing shit in this fight, I'm gonna hope that he's within 120 feet of me, and I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on Ford.
Do you have to see the target?
Nope.
Yep.
I think you have to look at what you're dispelling to
It
dispel
just says
Within range.
it just says
Just-
within
yep.
range. It doesn't say anything
doesn't say
about
sight?
visual.
Interesting.
We just went through this.
Yeah.
Alrighty. All right. So, shit, Ford, come on, man. Dispel that. Go ahead and roll a d20 and add your wisdom modifier
Okay.
if you're casting at base level.
Come on.
I'm gonna cast it at 4th level.
Okay.
And I will then wave my hand toward Essek and shout, "Wake up!" and cast a spell at 5th.
Okay. Casting where?
Dispel at Essek.
Dispel at Essek?
Yes.
Okay. 5th? Yeah, that'll do it.
Thank goodness.
It's good to not deal with his shit.
Man, that was gonna be fun too. Essek, Essek, you see, was already gathering this dark well of kind of gravitational magic while staring forward suddenly, and lets it kind of just dissipate.
No, you can keep it. Just point it over.
Thank you.
You shot from the
Bitch,
window.
All right, you're staying put. Through here, tries to follow where those blasts came from, but cannot see through the fog, so cannot target Ford.
Yeah. Oh.
Instead, is going to target Essek, since Essek is right there. Now that's a fail. Essek is now slowed as well.
No.
The grief of his actions.
Oh, that's a pile.
Visions of turning over an important relic of his people to the enemy. Evie is racked with the chains of guilt and seems to begin to sink from the air as he just begins to curl forward with a look of absolute despair on his face. All right, that's going to finish that go. Bo, you're up.
Imagination patient defense.
All right. Finishing that, it is Essek's turn. Essek, who is now currently like, I cannot focus on my deeds. And looking... Actually, yeah. Let's see if that works. Looking around in the environment is going to slowly drift this direction at half speed. I'm going to get about there. And look down at the two exposed eyes to summon off of and be like, let's see if we can bind your vitality together. As he puts his hands together, he creates this tiny, sparkling orb of black, gray energy. He splits it in two, and then and his actions are slow and sluggish, but he still gives a heave, and you watch as they both float off towards the two different eyes over there, Tamore and Luctus. With that, natural one on Tamore.
Oh, good.
And yeah, that's a 15. They both fail. And you watch as both these motes hit the two eyes. A little tether of grayish energy connects the two. And they are both in some way bound. And Essek... heard one, heard both! And he just kind of stays there, clutching himself.
Oh, cool.
As he casts Tether Essence.
Tight.
Okay. This is my turn.
Okay.
My turn.
Finishing your turn, Essek's go. Essek is going to go ahead and... kind of hearing that, though doesn't have much in the way of psychic damage at the moment. It's going to go ahead and move up.
Hey, where is she?
Slowed, so he can't move that far.
Lucian is
Is going to go ahead and cast
resistant to fire or no?
Yeah.
a third level
Tiefling.
magic missile. Honestly, it's probably the best bet to the already damaged vigilant eye that you did.
Kill it.
So as you say this, Johnny kind of like slowed and coming forward on his feet. The ground, it seems to almost like seep beneath his steps as he like...
Ooh, he's having to walk.
Yeah. Yeah, with him, which is really rough.
Bad day for us.
Bad day.
He's got
kinda-
soft little feet.
Little calf.
Yeah.
Little calf.
Like Sam.
Yeah.
Clutching his side as he steps towards you, Bo, and seeing you damaging this thing, just kind of... Let's see if we can finish this together.
Yeah.
And releases a third level magic missile towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never skip a day.
He's gonna be so sore. His calves are gonna be so sore.
It's like running in barefoot shoes.
Yeah. He's never done one squat.
Oh.
Not one.
That does it.
Why would you choose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did the shake weight.
Just grabbing eye stalks.
Which one did he kill?
Vigilus? Magic.
The anti-magic cone, Vigilin, has been destroyed, and with it, Lucian and yells physically, but gives a shout and a scream through all of your minds of multiple voices that causes all of you to wince in pain. It doesn't do psychic damage, but there is fury mounting in Lucian.
Okay.
All right, does that finish your turn? Oh no, that was Essek's turn. That finishes Essek's turn. He's going to make a save to see if he can shake off the slow.
Come on.
He's rolled 2 natural ones in a row. I'm not even joking. Both turns, so he's still slowed.
He's got a lot of baggage.
Is now Lucian's go.
He's walking.
You should feel bad.
You're not wrong.
Lucian.
Radiant damage.
You got it. So it flashes off of him. I think you should join us. And kind of glances up towards you, Caleb. And is going to use his Whale Aether attack again. The first effect is going to be summon Cataclysm, as opposed to creating one, is going to, you feel the top of the tower shift beneath your feet as it breaks off and floats in the air with you on top of it before it shoots down towards Essek.
Oh my god, he threw a tower at you!
Oh god.
So you have disadvantage because you were on the tower.
Sure.
Or sorry, advantage on the attack against you.
Yeah.
Throw another moon at me.
That's going to be a 26 to hit you.
Yeah, sure.
And Essek actually rolled a natural 1.
Again.
Again, which means this is Essek not getting hit. So, or Essek still takes half damage, but he isn't restrained and manages to push away from there. So, you, Caleb, take. Oh boy.
Where are you at?
I'm at full at the moment.
Okay. Okay. Get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Lucian's turn right now?
Yeah. Yes, and I need you to make a strength saving throw for me.
Oh, that'll go well. Matt Colville meteorite die. Great, that's a 4.
Oh no!
You don't know. You don't know. You take 38 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And you are restrained as you are now trapped beneath this portion of a tower.
Did I give you freedom of movement a million years ago, or no? Was that a million
Doesn't
billion years
sound
ago?
familiar to me.
That was a death ward, sorry.
All things considered, you
All
had an
things
entire
considered.
tower.
Ish.
It's your own tower now.
I mean,
Just like you said.
So you are restrained and pinned to the
This
ground.
is the Sham Novum for all things considered.
and you're restrained.
Indeed.
Sure, cool.
That would be your action to do so.
All right. Patient defense.
Okay. You go into a dodge stance. Finishing bows go. It is Essek's turn. Essek steps forward while still slowed. Just goes, Caleb, I need you. And takes your arm and is going to try and pull you out.
Oh, buddy.
That is... Doesn't have a high strength. That's a failure. He's going to go ahead and use his Fortune's Favor
That's right, he gave us a fortune favor too.
to try and... don't forget that. To try and reroll. 17. He pulls you free.
Oh, shit!
From underneath the building. It hurts your legs, but he drags you back to your feet and goes, let's finish this.
Press my forehead to his forehead and then turn back towards all the shit that's happening around us.
All right. You are no longer restrained. You're still on the ground for the most part. You still have to use your movement to get up, but you're no longer restrained. He's going to go ahead and save to see if he's still slowed. He succeeds. He's no longer slowed. But that's where he is. All right.
Okay. Grasping Essek's forearm, I pull myself to standing, and I can see from my vantage point Jester's corpse. I scream her name, and I reach out my hand, and I will her to leave that space and appear next to Caduceus wherever he is.
Okay. Go ahead and make a d20 check. Add your wisdom modifier and the number of eyes. Finishing Caduceus' turn. Last legendary action. Fastodon does not have visual on either of the clerics or Ford because of that marine layer. So instead, he's going to focus it on you, Caleb. Since it can break through. Make another Constitution saving throw for me.
That is a 10.
10. Good roll. Take 38 points of necrotic damage. Caleb falls unconscious.
I'm pretty close to him, Matthew. Do I hear anything?
You, in the midst of this chaos, you hear Caleb taking damage. You do not see him because you're currently hiding in the rubble of the building.
Sure.
Finishing Caduceus' turn. Jester, you are conscious.
That's it. That's my turn.
Okay. Finishing Bo's turn, it is now Essek's turn. Essek sees you back to consciousness. It's going to turn around angrily and yeah, it's going to go ahead and unleash an 8th level gravity fissure.
Yeah. 8th level.
Yeah. Saving it for something, but wants to get this over with. So Lucian's going to go ahead and have to make a Constitution saving throw. Fails, but is going to go ahead and use Legendary Resistance to succeed. So that would be 10d8. Force damage.
No, in the thread.
47. 47, so 23 points of force damage to Lucian as Essek turns around and just yells, hands forward, and you see this one crackling blast of black gravity energy strike outward and pierce through Lucian. And as it strikes through, you watch the gravity folds in the arms of Lucian go crushed inward, and all the muscles begin to tense. Parts of the various bits of protrusions of tusk and bone begin to crack and bend inward as he forces it off, but he took a solid bit of damage. Essek's gonna go ahead and move back this way. Now he can float. He's gonna do so to try and get out of the way. Lucian is going to go ahead and he can't focus on anyone in the cloud, so is going to go ahead and teleport up here with its movement, and now it can see Essek is going to attempt to.
Marine Lair is the greatest spell in Dungeons and Dragons. It's actually been pretty clutch.
Yeah. Same for the Ring of Fire. It took how many episodes?
Yeah.
Failed.
Finally paid off.
On his own intelligence saving throw, still failed.
Yeah, long game. Been planning. That's
Essek
why
gets an
you-
additional eye.
You built a warlock just
How
to
many
get
eyes
this.
is that?
Essek failed
Essek has?
Essek gets 5.
Oh my god.
And Essek is drawn immediately to rush in to base, overwhelmed with excitement, before stopping right in front of Lucian and going, "Oh no!" Already?
Yeah, take a. I mean, you know, if you want to take a break, whatever.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, cool.
No break tonight.
No break tonight.
Peeing is for the weak.
I've been peeing for the past hour.
All right, that's going to finish their turn. At the end of that turn, Lucian's going to use his last 2 legendary actions to do 3 more claw strike attacks against. Now you're on the ground.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 23 to hit.
To me, yeah, it hits.
Okay. 30 to hit.
Sure.
And 31 to hit.
I don't think you need to roll damage. I'm out. I mean,
All right, well, we'll see.
I'm at 22 hit points.
We'll see. That is going to be 22 exactly.
So you're out.
It was my turn. Gone.
And so as one claw strikes Caleb on the ground, the blood spats from his mouth as he falls unconscious. The wing pulls up a second time, and 2 of the points just stick right through Caleb's chest and stomach. As they withdraw, the blood dripping from the tips, Caleb is left lifeless and still. Still heavy gash in the front, lifeless.
I'm going to stumble over by the body and pull out my transmutus stone and place it on his chest and look around at everyone here.
Caleb?
Why did we come this far if not for this?
Are we sure it won't bring Lucian back?
Some of them is gone. If If he is still twisted, he will be alone. And we will be able to handle him. But what if? Why did we go so far and fight so hard? We would do this for any one of us.
Yes, of course. I think he's still in there.
I know he is.
You don't think that he's one of these golden motes of light that's being released?
Are you sure this is even wise to attempt?
Once you're a member of the Mighty Nine, you're in. You should know that by now.
He's right. And right now, there's only 8 of us.
Do either of you two good folk have any diamonds left?
I do.
How much do you need?
Here?
Yeah.
We do this at home.
Oh no!
I can't believe that just happened.
I get to re-roll ones.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. The magic feels like it finds something. But maybe it's because it's just a fragment of the spirit. It's not strong enough to bring it back. It's not strong enough magic. And as the light fades, the body is restored. The wounds are cleaned. And there before you is the body you remember as Malimok Tea Leaf. Sans the red eyes, of course. But the spirit did not return.
He's lifeless.
Yes.
But we know it's him.
At least we let him.
You know it's his body.
I lean down, kiss him on the forehead where he kissed me a long time ago, and push the sweaty hair out of his face. You are frustrating, but we will miss you.
Essek gets up in a huff. Walks about 20 feet away.
There's nothing else to do. Caleb.
I tried.
Well, we can't leave him here.
No.
No. I mean, there's a hill next to a road.
Let's find the prettiest place in the Blooming Grove.
Everywhere is the prettiest place in the Blooming Grove. It'll be.
I begin the slow process of casting the Vault of Amber to bring him with us.
As Caleb's doing that, I'll walk over to Essek and just quietly ask him, "Are you all right?"
It's not fair. It's not fair.
No.
We've all come so far. It's just not fair.
It barely is. You did more for us and for him than most anyone we know.
I spent my entire life studying the intent to not let things like this happen to chance. It can't be it, can it?
I don't know. But if you were to ask my wise friend Caduceus, I'm sure he would tell you that life continues on. It changes, it evolves, and it grows. I don't think there's an end. You just might not be able to see the next trip. But you have more time. You have more time to study. You have a talent that I don't understand. Use that anger, that frustration. Let it fuel you. If you have any regret or grief over what you've done in your life, I see nothing but good, and nothing but an opportunity for you to turn it around. You've shown me all I need to see.
What do we do with the city?
Did you all hear those thank yous?
Yes.
It's a long time to be trapped.
Very long time. This wasn't a waste.
No, no.
We may be heroes that no one knows about. But we know.
God, you're right.
I know it was a hard-fought victory, but it still feels like we lost.
Essek walks up to you. Solace. Have you ever accepted defeat?
Maybe today for the first time. Or, a change in direction anyway.
What are you thinking, Essek?
I don't know. I just wish there was more I could do. Anyone could do. Unfortunately, this type of magic is beyond my purview.
Takes a full 20 minutes as a ritual to use the amber.
Are you putting him inside?
Yeah, yes. We give him a better.
Before it goes in.
Very quietly.
Left. Now's the time.
In the corner, cast divine intervention. I'm just sort of curious.
Oh. Okay.
Please tell me what this means, because
no.
I'm tired.
Did you succeed? Did you just succeed again? Wow, the Wild Mother really loves.
Or a jacket?
Joy.
I'll get out my paintbrushes and I'll start painting him his old outfit and give him some really flamboyant, flourishy clothes. I don't need to give you a coat, though. We have that for you.
Caleb simultaneously pulls Veth into sort of a shoulder hug low on the left and rings an arm around Essek's neck to the right and pulls them both in close. And just watches the group descend on Mollymock.
Essek actually walks up to you, Caduceus, as you're getting ready and says, "See, there's always a way."
I'm impressed.
No. If everyone has been impressed with this, it's me.
I think you have a bright future ahead of you.
Of course.
You did well. You take the blame. You should take the credit too.
I do. I'm glad I did it.
I think you're going to save a lot of people. You already have. I think you have a good life ahead of you.
He puts his hand on your shoulder and says, I hope you are right.
And if not, I'm sure the rest of them will hunt you down, and that'll be the end of that, but...
Not that far off.
Well, and you're always welcome in my house.
Thank you.
Yours, your home, or mine?
Let's go to yours.
All right, everybody.
Yeah, this
Make some circuit!
Hey, look, there's 9.
Yep. Commit this city to the air. We're out.
We finally got 9! Like, 9, really 9.
That's crazy.
This city!
With that flash of energy. You see Essek kind of still looking around, a little uncomfortable in unfamiliar surroundings. So where exactly are we?
Oh, you weren't with us. That's right.
We're not far from the Savalier Wood.
Okay, so we are north of the Empire.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
My home.
Which is?
North. Have you ever heard of the Blooming Grove before?
You're on our side of the mountains now.
I have not, but that puts my mind at ease for the moment, at least.
We don't get a lot of visitors. And when we do, they tend not to be from the Empire, mostly.
Are you worried about the eyes of the Empire or of the Dynasty at this moment?
Honestly, either.
It's fair.
Do you plan to go back up to Aeor? To your post?
I don't know. I'm still thinking. There's a lot to process, and we just, probably just went through all of that, so...
Well, there's no rush for the time being. You stay with us.
Maybe a night's rest, yes.
Are you on the outs with the Dynasty, or...?
I have a sinking feeling it will not be long until the trail of misdeeds I've left behind me catch up to me.
And will you face the consequences of your actions, or run?
I need a night's sleep first. If you don't mind.
Sure. And I can't sleep.
No.
It's hard to believe that any of that even happened looking around this place.
Yeah, it's that strange feeling when you've been gone for a while and it feels like so much has changed. But nothing here has.
Oh, I don't know.
Just us.
Anything. No matter how shady.
Sounds like you're ready to settle down here.
Ah, it's not settling down, it's, recuperating. Honestly, I'd recommend you stay as well for a while if you want to calm down a bit.
You know, a week here does not sound like a bad idea.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, me too.
Gather our thoughts. Plan for the future.
You can see
Essek is still kind of like wincing at the sunlight and kind of glides into the shade for a moment and goes, well, I could certainly use some time in the garden. It's been a while.
You'll like this garden. It's a lot to learn.
Maybe in the morning.
Thank you, Jester.
For what?
Oh, the last couple of years. Thank you for being such a good friend.
Of course, Caleb. You're a good person.
I could be.
You are.
There's just a little more to do.
She's not wrong. Trust me. I know a few bad people. You're not one of them.
Do you say the same for yourself?
I do not think it is a luxury anyone has to call themselves good or bad. I think that is a label for others to present.
I like that. I think you're a good person. And that's a lot coming from me, because you're a fucking war criminal.
I understand entirely. Trust me. I
yeah.
There's a lot to say, but maybe I could use some rest.
You know how we feel is one thing. What we do, that's what counts.
Indeed.
Good night, everyone.
Ollie's going to wander the garden.
And there's
Make
so
it
many
a little
things
more
I don't know
like
that.
swashbucklery than that.
Not like this.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Essek's just sitting over, still on like the stoop outside of the door that leads out of the home temple, like half chewing on his food, avoiding the sunlight, just looking at you all, going,
Essek, do you want some new clothes?
I'm good, thank you.
Maybe we should paint him an umbrella or something.
Do you want a parasol?
Oh.
Sure.
All right. Here's your coat. I'll start to work on the parasol. But it's not going to be like really frilly and lacy like the last one I made you. This one will be Essek-y.
What's a parasol? Is that like a poncho?
It's like an umbrella.
A poncho that
Oh, right.
poncho on a stick.
Poncho on a stick.
Yeah.
Parasol. Called an umbrella.
Here you are, good sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Fancy name. The blanket's not a duvet.
What are you thinking?
Mark down these paints that I'm using.
Matt won't count.
I look like your friend. But I don't think I'm him. Is that going to be all right in the long run?
We'll make friends with you.
Of course.
No, you have to be our friend or we'll kill you.
Honestly, we've already kind of been through this once, so I think we're a little bit more emotionally prepared for it.
Yeah. We have a habit of taking in strays.
That is very true.
The cool thing is now, you kind of can be whoever you want to be.
No, we're gathered, so
Where's your mom?
She decided to stay there. I know. Okay, so
Give me the
yes.
details.
Okay, so she said she was going to stay, but she was like very adamant that I not get my hopes up because things are complicated, which I understand.
Ooh, things are
Complicated.
Step up, you know.
while we were gone,
Complicated.
did the ruby of like a lot.
It is, but that's also only one half of the coin unless we're just going to leave the dynasty out there floating. I'm sure they're looking for Essek. I'm sure they're wondering what's going on at Aeor. And at the bottom of all that we just left is still a teleportation device that has a Broaden it.
Caleb, as Ford's saying this, the words seem to kind of begin to blur a bit as another voice begins to peek into your head.
Oh, this bitch.
Bren, I was once as stubborn as you. I know you are not beyond reason. I know very well the ore you were forged from, and what we've made you into. And you are very slippery and quite accomplished in your ability to avoid conversation. But simple tricks only last so long.
And?
It's the end. You have the opportunity to respond.
Well, don't worry. My friends and I will come knocking on your door soon.
Curious choice of words. Do not throw away the destiny others have sacrificed to forge for you. Grand potential wasted is a tragedy innumerable. I ask you once more, will you parley with me?
Where and when?
Now. Outside.
We may have a visitor?
I just...
And sorry, DM, in all this fracas, Essek is in the living quarters with us?
Yes.
For all this?
And Essek doesn't really know what's happening now. He just noticed the fire. He's like, is this what I...
Yeah, so on the way out, I'll say, be ready. We eliminate one problem today. And I head out.
He swallows very heavily and... All right. So as you head out, Essek's going to kind of come from behind at that point to follow shortly thereafter. The families begin to push through the arcane gate and emerge. Essek, who's currently stepping in and nervously looking at Trent in the face with a look of recognition. It has been some time. Seems our dealings and allegiances have shifted. Looks over to you nervously. And is going to go ahead and cast a full-on gravity sinkhole at a high level at him.
Let's kick it off. Let's go.
Trent saves. As this sphere of black energy opens around and seems to be wanting to pull, it slowly dissipates. Trent is unharmed. No physical representation of any damage taken.
Oh, he cast that at a high level and it did nada?
Nothing.
Yay!
Because
Is he here? Because of what? Because of what?
well, it said that he was surrounded by some sort of shimmering, fiery...
Like an anti-magic.
There's some sort of shimmer to him, and there is a fire, like, field around him. And Essek kind of just... is going to go ahead and glide over this way and try and get behind this tree.
Cool.
Finishing your row, Caleb, you're up.
Okay, so I'm just out the side of my mouth to Eadwulf. I'm going to quickly say, there is more than one way for this to end. Change the narrative, and I move over closer to Essek and slam Alora's staff down on the ground and cast Globe of Invulnerability so that it encompasses myself and Essek. It's a 10-foot radius, so
yes,
you should...
indeed. Got it.
But that's it. That's the turn.
Sorry. You don't get globe.
Is she within? If she's within 10 feet, she is.
She don't get no glow. No.
Are you flying?
Yeah,
Fine.
I got a glow already.
There you go. Vulnerability over the both of you.
Cool. By the way, what'd I do?
You did great.
Okay.
All right.
You fucked up.
Actually, what level spell is the Globe of Invulnerability?
Well, I was going to ask. It's 6 charges, but I don't know if the staff allows you to use more charges to cast higher.
I don't think it would, no.
Okay, so
6th level.
Yeah.
It does not work.
What does not work?
The globe.
As you go to cast the globe, the spell seems to begin to form and then is raked from the air.
Do I have any sense why?
Oh boy.
Astrid around this corner
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
has her hand out after dispelling it.
Wow.
And she's just looking at you intently as you glance over into her gaze, and she's just.
I turned to Bo. It's a meat cute.
Yeah.
So-
So damage to
Okay.
Aedwolf does damage to Trent now.
And
He's going to glide off this way. Actually, he's going to go ahead and move half speed and drag Caleb back 15 feet. To try and pull him out of melee. All right, that finishes his turn. Bo, you're up. You both take, I think it was 52 points of lightning damage.
52.
You still standing?
Yep.
Okay. Looking rough?
Nope.
Essek's not looking great. As this bolt of energy crackles down and impacts the ground next to Caleb, it just rolls out of the way as it blasts. It splinters off and blasts both full brunt and bore into Ford and Essek, both get pushed back almost, grasping smoke from the chest as they both kind of lean forward a bit, taking the hit. You shrug it off.
Sure.
Four reduced half. Base 17 points of lightning damage to Master Trent Ickathon. As Essek, now behind Caleb, kind of gets back a bit and is keeping an eye on Astrid as well, but as he kind of floats down over the mossy ground, gathers his hands, and then releases this torrent of black electrical energy that blasts into Trent, and it hits. And it seems like it does to kind of burn and impact, and he winces a little bit, but it doesn't do as much damage as you would hope.
Sorry, tricks. What was the spell that he did? What
That was a 5th level lightning bolt.
Oh boy.
He's like,
He gets such wonderful toys.
Caleb, I'm scared. All right, that's going to finish Essek's turn. Beauregard, you're up. All right. Essek is going to glide over on the other side of Caleb, kind of staying behind Beauregard. And is going to attempt to cast Hold Person at 5th level on Trent. Trent has advantage. That's insane.
Say it.
So Essek's DC is 19. Trent has advantage on the saving throws. He rolled a 3 and a 5. But he has a plus 10 wisdom save, so he still fails.
Nice. A 15 with a 3 to 5.
Day.
That's crazy.
So, as Essek glides over, stay down. Puts his hand out, and as he closes his fingers, Trent's body just tenses and pulses like it's all the muscles are just slightly taut and folding inward. He's paralyzed for the time being.
During ceremonial purposes.
I can only help with the roof and the burning.
Roof in the building will be fine. If anyone wants to garden, that'd be, that's extracurricular.
Do you have extra gardening hats for all of us if we want?
Essek oddly raises his hand as well. Why not?
Welcome in.
Bo just looks at
Had it all time.
Essek like,
Yeah.
I've never tried gardening.
you should wear those like little rose printed gloves.
Do you have a pair?
Little visor. Maybe the Clay family has some.
I'm painting him a little pair of rose.
Thank you. And he kind of mage hands them over. Thank you, Jester.
You're welcome.
And for your curiosity, they don't know who I am.
In the quiet, shaded corner of the room, you see a pensive Essek, arms crossed, just kind of listening. Thank you.
You coming, hot boy?
Where? To the Empire?
Yeah, I see your point.
Is it any more dangerous than home?
It's not any less, probably.
We're heading to Rexentrum.
Maybe it's time I just found my way. Really begun my penance. I've procrastinated long enough in dealing with my sins.
Well, maybe we can speak for you. We all know what you've done and sacrificed. If you're on your own, then it's just your word, but we are friends to the dynasty.
You are welcome to speak on my behalf, but I do not feel comfortable returning to Rosohna. At least not in... not the way things are. Maybe I should return to Isocross again. Just keep to my station up there. There are people that rely on me. And if they do eventually come for me, who would I be to deny them? I am so greatly thankful that you've all shown compassion for me, for what I've done, and for all the things you don't know I've done. I'm scared to think of what more I could have wrought had we not crossed paths. Convinced myself I'd be alone for so much of my life. It's hard to say goodbye when I don't feel alone anymore, but I understand. I understand and accept. Accept what I've done. Maybe I just need some time to think. And I do hope we cross paths again. Sincerely, it will be hard for me to keep you far from my mind.
Oh, you won't be able to. I'm going to send you a message every day.
I would...
Don't worry, Essek.
No. I would honestly probably welcome it. Even when I'm pooping.
We might be busy for a while, but we don't end up dead. You'll hear from us again soon.
I've literally seen you survive worse. What have you done? This world was so much easier when it was black and white.
But it's so much more beautiful in all the shades of colors.
Thank you, Mighty Nine. I could never return the favor. For what you've done for me. Good luck.
Oh, come. Oh, big group hug.
The old cinnamon roll.
Yeah, yeah.
The Clay family joins in, and he's like, oh, God.
Weird though, because he's kind of hovering in the middle of the
cinnamon roll.
We're just kind of hugging his thighs.
Yeah.
How are you traveling?
Probably the same way that I've traveled with you before. Maybe not to Isocross immediately, but probably by ship. It's safer. Maybe spend some time in Uthadern. I hear the cupcakes are quite good there.
Black moss cupcakes.
You had a friend there, right?
Rini.
Really?
She's a handful, but I think she'd do you good.
I think I learned how to handle handfuls.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're going to look so good with a flower crown.
What?
She makes great flower crowns.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Maybe there are
Nah,
places.
don't question it. Just go.
Well, hey, as someone who's been on a penance journey, don't take too long. Because connection is what saves us.
Too long for what?
Beating yourself up over your sins.
I have a long life ahead of me if I'm clever enough. I hope a time comes.
Me too.
Before he can go, I catch him by the arm and draw him in and give him a kiss on the cheek and then pull him into the most empathetic hug I can make him feel. Don't be a stranger. Somewhat hypocritical coming from me, but try to be kind to yourself.
You more than anyone show me that trauma doesn't define you.
Stay safe.
You too, Caleb Widogast. And he lets go and drifts out into the front of the grove. And is gone.
Well,
will you take me home?
Is this true?
To a degree.
We are not partially responsible for the current peace we now see between the Empire and the Kryn dynasty.
That is true. Myself and the Mighty Nine, the other 8, and I. Yes.
Caleb, is there anything else you would like to?
Well, first thing, dealing with the assembly and working with Beauregard, I see as a lifelong pursuit. I'm not really content to leave it at Ikathon, but we'll see where that goes. Probably in the first 6 months to a year, I would stay in touch with Essek to see how his path is shaking out. That would be first.
He eventually began to feel the possible prying eyes of dynasty discomfort and absconded from the Aeoran trade post.
So he went there?
He went there to continue his business for the time being, so at least it was far away, and there were people there that relied on him. But even that, he eventually left.
Well, hopefully I could meet him there.
Okay.
And invite him with me to return to Aeor and spend time learning as much as we can, retracing many of our steps. It's knowledge that is thousands of years old and has been hidden from history, and I would want to learn about it and share it with the Cobalt Soul. And I think if he would deign to go with me and do that, eventually I would also wind our way back to that chamber, the T-Dock chamber.
Upon the invitation, he just goes, I could think of nothing else I would rather do. And the journey is in itself fraught with interesting encounters. There are still many dangers in there. Other hunters and tomb robbers and all manner of strange traps, and it is its own series of smaller adventures of just you and Essek trying to survive the trials of retracing your steps through the ruins of Aeor. A bonding experience, a trying experience, but that friendship and connection is forged even stronger through that process, until eventually you both return to the Genesis Ward, and eventually the T-Dock experimentation chamber.
Is this still something that you consider?
He studies it after you ask this question, wordlessly, for 5-6 minutes. Not in a way that he's ignored the question, but he's still pondering as he traces the various dunamentic glyphs, admiring, questioning, curiously taking in, now that there is time to do so. He looks at it. I have spent my life in the pursuit of the ability to control one's future. And that path has led me to making many mistakes. And then my shift began to wander to the possibility of fixing one's past. And since we found this, I've thought on it often. He runs his finger along the side of the race platform. The possibility of retracing one's lifeline. Adjusting things. But such pursuits are selfish. For the more you understand time, You understand you cannot see the ramifications of changing such things. Where I found this before I found you. Perhaps I may have done some incredible, terrible things with it. But I accept my regrets, my faults now. And I'm here today with this knowledge, in this moment with you, because of those mistakes. And as much as they hurt me, I don't want to change a thing.
I take the whole place in. It is a lot.
How about you, Caleb Widogast?
Well, my lifespan is a little shorter than yours, but for many years. I have thought of this very thing. And he just stops talking for a few moments, looking at the room while Essek listens to the quiet. And I think about the plan I have gone over in my mind every night for years, knowing it would work. Of course it will work. I will go back. I will walk up in the guise of a young Bren Aldrich Amandrude not long after I left them. I will re-enter my home and explain it to them. I will dump 2 bodies out of the amber on my neck and leave them on the floor. I will set illusion behind us as we leave and wait from afar and watch invisibly as 3 children walk up to the house and set it ablaze. And hear the screams of my parents who are no longer in that building. And everything will stay as it was. And I will take them to tell Dore. And I will tell them, take these gems, start a life here, wait for me. And in a little less than 2 decades, start coming to this square once a week, every week, and eventually you will find me there. Of course it would work.
Will you do it? Will you do it? I will help you.
I drag some dust up my arm and disintegrate everything in the room. And burn what's left.
Essek just nods. Good. Good.
I think that Caleb and Essek, if Essek were of a mood to, would be together for a while. But knowing that eventually, not too far off, Caleb will be an old man and Essek will be Essek. And I need to go home. I need to fix my home, and that is still my priority. So if he's open to it, I would stay lifelong, my lifelong, friends with him, and be grateful for that time.
Essek is very open to it. It's not long after this Aeorian experience that Essek finds a way to build a new life, away from the dynasty, using illusion, numerous personas. But he remains in close contact with all of you, and vanishing at other times to whatever his business may be. But he appreciates the time he has with you, and the friendship beyond that.
Shortly after returning home from Eiselcross, I go to Blumenthal for the first time. And I know where the town's cemetery is, and I find Una and Leofric and sit down on the ground before them, and I unsnap the book harness on the left and take out the book of letters that I have been writing to them since I woke up, with the intention of putting in their hands. I have so much more work to do, trying to be the man you wanted me to be. I still hope to. And if I'm very lucky, I will see you on the other side. And I hold the book, and I cast teleport and send it into the earth between them. And I think for the rest of Caleb's life, he will teach. I think he will teach Luke if his parents will have me.
Well, I had thought about possibly opening some sort of a little summer camp to teach young adventurers how to stealth and sneak and fire crossbows and maybe learn a little magic. So, if you'd like to come, be a counselor.
I will do that in my off months. But if the Empire continues on and the Academy is still there, I will teach at it. Not run it. I will teach transmutation and try to instill a sense of stewardship
and the responsibility that comes with power to my students, and do my damnedest to be sure that there is none of what happened to my friends and I in school happening now. And probably push the envelope on treason in this country, let's be honest, but...
Fair enough.